Chapter 1548. Watching those people leave, Qin Feng laughed and scolded those idiots. He turned around and hurried back the way he came. The Five Elements Mountain was to the north of Huaqing, so he had to go through Huaqing. After a day and a night, Qin Feng finally arrived at the foot of the Five Elements Mountain. He couldn't help but sigh. The North Sand Continent was really vast. However, the North Sand Continent was just one of the 4 continents of the Divine Continent. Qin Feng couldn't imagine how big the Divine Continent was. The Five Elements Mountain was a famous mountain in Fu City. Because of the abundant spiritual energy on the mountain, there were many spiritual herbs and spiritual plants, and it was suitable for cultivation. Many disciples came here. "Brother, may I know how to get to the Futian Grotto?" Qin Feng asked a man who was passing by the foot of the mountain. According to the map Zhou Tian gave him, the Five Elements Mountain's ancient warrior relic was in the Futian Grotto. However, Qin Feng was a little confused. The Five Elements Mountain was full of people. If there was an ancient warrior relic nearby, wouldn't it have been discovered long ago? The man must have been a frequent visitor to the Five Elements Mountain, as he told Qin Feng the route in detail. Qin Feng walked according to the route, and with the map in hand, he soon found the entrance to the Futian Grotto. It was a small cave, and there were no people around. Qin Feng stood at the entrance and observed for a while. The spiritual energy in the cave was dozens of times thinner than outside. It was not even as abundant as the spiritual energy in the Divine Continent. This made Qin Feng very confused. It was the first time he came to a place with such a lack of spiritual energy in the Divine Continent. No wonder there's no one around. No one would come to this cave to cultivate, Qin Feng muttered to himself. But the location marked on the map is here. Is there really an ancient warrior relic in this cave? Qin Feng had some doubts about the information from the 4 people from Hunyuan Hai. He guessed that the information they got was too outdated. In fact, this ancient warrior relic had been discovered long ago, and all the treasures in the cave had been taken away. However, since he was already at the entrance of the cave, Qin Feng decided to go in. He wanted to take a look around before making a decision. The cave was pitch black. Qin Feng snapped his fingers, and 5 purple flames ignited on the 5 fingers of his right hand. The flames lit up the darkness of the cave. Even though there was a chilly wind blowing in the cave from time to time, the flames were not extinguished. Before he knew it, Qin Feng had already walked to the deepest part of the cave. He didn't find anything along the way. Seeing that he had nowhere to go, Qin Feng was somewhat disappointed. It seemed that this ancient martial arts relic had really been discovered by someone. Or perhaps, what Primordial Chaos C and the others had received was simply false information. Just as Qin Feng was about to turn around and leave, the immortal fire on his finger suddenly leaped high. Qin Feng abruptly stopped in his tracks. This celestial fire was sentient. There could only be one reason for it to suddenly fluctuate. It meant that there was dense spiritual qi nearby. This made Qin Feng suspicious. Along the way, he was sure that the spiritual qi in this cave was sparse. Why was there suddenly such a rich spiritual qi? However, Qin Feng soon discovered something fishy. The closer he got to the end of the cave, the more intense the immortal fire on his finger became. Could it be a concealment formation? Qin Feng muttered. Little Pig's voice rang out in his mind. Master's guess is correct. There might be a concealment formation set up in this cave. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and his originally lazy expression became spirited again. A concealment formation would definitely not be set up in an ordinary place. Since there was such a high-level formation here, there must be an unknown treasure hidden here. Qin Feng had long since upgraded the 5 elements formation to the heaven and earth formation level. This allowed him to study formations and dispel them. Swoosh! Qin Feng immediately took out a few formation flags from his star ring and threw them at the 4 corners of the cave. Back when he was searching for the inner hidden sects in China's secular world, Qin Feng had dispelled a concealment formation. However, the concealment formation in this blessed heaven cave was not considered a high-level formation. It didn't take Qin Feng long to dispel it. Rumble! A muffled sound rang out, and the cave shook violently. A new passage appeared in front of Qin Feng, and the spiritual qi inside surged out crazily. Qin Feng was pleasantly surprised. He realized that the place this passage led to was most likely the hidden ancient martial arts relic. He walked all the way to the end of the passage, and an empty cave abode appeared in front of him. "Who dares to trespass here? Scram if you don't want to die." As soon as Qin Feng walked to the center of the cave abode, an old voice came from all directions. There was an echo in the cave. Qin Feng couldn't determine the location of the speaker for a while, but his expression changed because the voice was from Han Yuan Hai. "Eh? It's this guy." Another old voice came out. It was Han Qigong. After Han Qigong recognized Qin Feng, the cave suddenly fell silent for a long time. Then, four black figures shot out. Han Yuan Hai and the other three people had surrounded Qin Feng. "Ha ha! Qin Feng, I've been looking for you recently. I didn't expect you to come to me." Qin Feng returned to his original appearance when he entered the Five Elements Mountain. When Han Yuan Hai confirmed that the person was Qin Feng, he was so excited that his old face bloomed like a flower. Han Qigong and Han Bai stood aside and didn't say anything. Han Tianjiao's face was cold. She hated Qin Feng as much as Han Yuan Hai when she thought that Qin Feng had cheated so many cultivation resources. "Brat, I helped you apply for the position of a core disciple, but you ran away with the cultivation resources. What a heartless guy," Han Tianjiao complained. Qin Feng sneered. "Ha! Are you really kind enough to help me apply for the position of a core disciple? You just want the cultivation resources I got. Let me tell you a piece of good news. I've used up all those resources." Qin Feng wasn't surprised to see Han Yuan Hai and the other three people. He knew that they had come to the ancient martial relic. Han Tianjiao was furious and raised her hand to slap. There was a loud explosion. Qin Feng nimbly dodged the wind from her palm, and a large piece of rock exploded on the rock wall behind him. The four people were stunned. They found that Qin Feng's strength had improved again after not seeing him for a long time. However, the four of them would never have thought that Qin Feng had reached the Holy King realm and killed the 8 young elders of the Han Yuan sect and the sect leader of the Azure Sky not long ago. Han Tianjiao's face turned even colder when her palm missed. Before she could slap a second time, Han Qigong suddenly jumped out to stop her. "Elder Tianjiao, don't kill him. He's still useful." Han Qigong gave the other three people a look, and they immediately understood. Han Tianjiao actually stopped, but she stood at the side and glared at Qin Feng angrily. Han Yuan Hai didn't look good either, but the four of them seemed to be plotting something. They didn't attack Qin Feng anymore. "Qin, you're lucky. I won't kill you now, but you have to listen to me. Otherwise, I'll take your life at any time." Han Yuan Hai stared at Qin Feng arrogantly. Han Yuan Hai stared at Qin Feng arrogantly. He didn't know Qin Feng's current realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such reckless words even if he was beaten to death. Qin Feng kept his aura at stage 8 immortal qi, but he wasn't in a hurry to kill the four people. Qin Feng could see that the four old guys seemed to be plotting something. He wanted to see what was going on. "Oh, by the way, how did you find this place?" Elder Han Bai suddenly asked. The other three people also realized this problem and stared at Qin Feng with doubtful eyes. "A Han Yuan sect's odd job disciple heard your plan and obtained a map. Later, he found me and told me about it." Qin Feng didn't hide it. Just as he finished speaking, Han Yuan Hai was enraged. "So my map wasn't lost. It was actually stolen by an odd job disciple. I'm so angry." Han Yuan Hai was so angry that smoke was coming out of his head. A odd job disciple stole the map? He would be a laughing stock if he told others about this. "Great Elder Yuan Hai, let's get down to business first," Elder Han Bai reminded. Han Yuan Hai finally stopped cursing. He stared at Qin Feng coldly and said, "Although you have a map, you can't find this place unless you see through the invisibility array at the door. If you want to live, help us break a defense array." Qin Feng sneered in his heart. He didn't believe that Hun Yuanhai would really ask him to break the array. Since the four of them could enter this cave abode, it meant that they knew some ways to break arrays. Why would they ask him for help? Bring me to the array first. Qin Feng didn't expose the four of them. Hun Yuanhai glared at Qin Fen fiercely again before he led the way. It turned out that there was a small passageway in the south of this cave abode. The deeper they walked into the passageway, the richer the surrounding spirit energy. The array is in front. As long as you break it, I will spare your life. Hun Yuanhai suddenly stopped and said. There was an end of the passageway in front of him. Qin Feng glanced around and found that there was also a concealment array here. However, Qin Feng knew that things were definitely not so simple. Otherwise, Hun Yuanhai wouldn't have spent so much effort to let him break the array. Qin Feng had already walked to the edge of the array. After a careful look, he found something fishy. There was actually an offensive array superimposed in this concealment array. These two superimposed arrays were set up very cleverly. Even people who knew a little about array formations would find it difficult to see through the trick. Once the concealment array was touched, the effect of the offensive array would be triggered. At that time, the person who broke the array would definitely die. After understanding the relationship, Qin Feng secretly cursed Hun Yuanhai and the others for being sinister and cunning. They must have seen through the superimposed array and tricked him to be cannon fodder. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and break the array. Hun Yuanhai was a little impatient. He was afraid that Qin Feng would discover the hidden offensive array if he looked at it for a long time. The other three were also very nervous. This superimposed array could only be broken with the death of one person. None of the four of them wanted to die. However, Qin Feng happened to run in at this time, which gave the four of them new hope. This is just a simple concealment array. Can't you guys crack it yourself? Qin Feng asked pretentiously. The four of them looked a little unnatural. Hun Yuanhai was cunning and quickly found an excuse. Of course we can break the array. It's just that before this, we have already broken more than a dozen concealment arrays. Now our auras are a little weak. That's why we came to you, cut the crap. Either hurry up and break the array, or I will kill you now. P.S. I can't update tomorrow. Take a day off. Chapter 1549. Primordial C still did not understand the situation and thought that Qin Fen was not his match. Qin Fen was amused but was not in a hurry to make a move. Now that a superposition array had appeared, Qin Fen planned to use Primordial C and the other three to break it. Elder Primordial C, I have a feeling that I'm going to be tricked by you. This hidden array is already very weak. You can break it easily with your realm. You don't need my help at all. Qin Fen looked worried. Primordial C's patience was about to run out. He glared at him coldly and said, You're like an ant in my eyes. I can kill you with a wave of my hand if I want to. Do you think I need to trick you? You think too highly of yourself, don't you? Qin Fen sneered in his heart but pretended to be worried and said, I'm still worried. Why don't you break the array with me? Otherwise, I'll leave here now. Primordial C rolled his eyes. He did not want to touch that superposition array. He did not know which expert left this array. The killing array was extremely ferocious. Even a 6th-level Holy King expert would not be able to resist it. However, seeing that Qin Fen seemed to be aware of it, Primordial C had no choice but to say, All right, I'll let Elder Hun Bai break the array with you. Elder Hun Bai's old face immediately darkened. He wanted to stand up and refuse, but Primordial C said first, Elder Hun Bai, don't decline. You're the weakest among the four of us. You know that. Of course, Elder Hun Bai understood what Primordial C meant. The weakest meant that he had to listen to the orders of the strong. Otherwise, if the strong was unhappy, they could kill him at any time. Junior brother Hun Bai, accompany Qin Fen to break the array. It'll be fine. Hun Qigong also stood up and said. Although Hun Tianjiao did not say anything, he nodded in agreement with Primordial C's suggestion. Elder Hun Bai felt as uncomfortable as if he had eaten shit. If his strength was not lower than the other three, he would have killed these 3 bastards on the spot. All right. I'll break the array with you. Elder Hunbai had no choice but to walk to the side of the array. However, he had already planned in his heart. The moment the hidden array was triggered, he would directly slap Qin Fen into the array to resist the attack of the killing array. Qin Fen did not say anything. Actually, it didn't matter if Primordial Chaos C or Primordial Chaos White broke the array as long as they could activate the killing array. The 2 of them stood on both sides of the array formation, while the trio from Primordial Chaos C retreated dozens of meters away. It was as though there were some scourges and fierce beasts in the array formation. Seeing this, Elder Hunbai was enraged again. He vented his anger at Qin Fen. "Stinking brat, are you ready? If you dare to slack off, I'll make sure you lose your life." Qin Fen didn't care about Elder Primordial Chaos's ruthless words at all. In fact, in his heart, Primordial Chaos C and the others were already dead. Whoosh! There was a sudden gust of wind. Qin Fen had already thrown more than a dozen array flags into the overlapping array formation, while Elder Hunbai took out hundreds of high-grade spirit stones and threw them around the array flags. Soon, a strange scene appeared. Between the dozens of flags, there was a surge of purple spiritual qi, which formed a pattern of arrays. "The eye of the formation has appeared, quickly attack!" Qin Fen suddenly shouted. Elder Hunbai laughed coldly in his heart. He wouldn't actually attack the formation. "Haha! You can go to hell now." Elder Hunbai suddenly slapped Qin Fen with his palm, intending to slap Qin Fen into the array formation to trigger the killing array. However, when his palm fell, Qin Fen's figure had already disappeared in front of him. The surging palm wind landed in the overlapping array formation in front of him, immediately activating the killing array. Elder Hunbai was so scared that his eyeballs fell to the ground. He quickly retreated to dodge. Rumble! A violent aura shot out from the array formation. It was as fast as lightning. Before Elder Hunbai could escape, he had already exploded into pieces. The entire cave abode shook violently. Even Primordial Chaos C and the other 2, who were standing dozens of meters away, were dumbfounded. The aura that shot out from the killing array was so powerful that the 3 of them were almost out of breath. It's indeed a killing array left by an expert senior. It's really amazing. Primordial Chaos C couldn't help but sigh. Han Qigong and Han Tianjiao were scared. Fortunately, it was Elder Hunbai who went to break the array with Qin Fen. If it were the 2 of them, the people who died would be different. Look, another passage has appeared. Han Tianjiao suddenly exclaimed. At this moment, the killing array had been completely activated. After a loud noise, the cave abode returned to peace. Meanwhile, a new path had appeared in the originally sealed passage. The 3 of them were extremely excited and hurriedly rushed in. This passage wasn't long. In just a few breaths, the 3 of them entered an open space inside. This new cave abode was slightly smaller than the cave abode outside, but the spirit chi density was more than 10 times higher. Moreover, 8 fist-sized beads were inlaid around the cave abode's rock walls. The beads were crystal clear and shone with a dim light, immediately attracting the 3's attention. This is a spirit bead?" Han Qigong exclaimed. When Primordial Chaos C and Han Tianjiao saw the spirit beads, their eyeballs almost popped out. This cave abode actually had spirit beads? This must be the cultivation place of that Buddha Light Realm expert. I didn't expect that he would use 8 spirit beads to set up a spirit chi array. No wonder the spirit chi in the area outside this cave abode is extremely sparse. It's all drawn here. Primordial Chaos C seemed to be talking to himself. Han Tianjiao also said, "Spirit beads have always been a legendary item in the Northern Sand region. The spirit chi contained in one spirit bead is comparable to 100,000 or even 1,000,000 high-grade spirit stones. I really didn't expect that I would be able to see the real thing in my lifetime. 8 spirit beads were equivalent to 8,000,000 high-grade spirit stones. No wonder Primordial Chaos C and the other 2 went crazy once they entered the cave abode." However, the 3 of them quickly calmed down and looked at each other, not knowing what they were thinking. Senior brothers, since we've found this ancient martial relic, how should we split the things inside? Han Tianjiao looked at the other two warily. Han Qigong quickly said, Now that Elder Hun Bai is dead, it's most suitable for the three of us to split the treasures in this cave abode equally. Han Tianjiao nodded in agreement. The two of them looked at Primordial Chaos C and saw that he seemed to have changed into a different person. A cold and playful smile appeared on his face. Ha ha! You two want to split the treasures equally with me? The two of them were stunned and stared at Primordial Chaos C coldly. Elder Primordial Chaos C, what do you mean by this? We agreed before we came here that we would split the treasures equally. Do you want to take it all for yourself? Primordial Chaos C did not care at all in the face of the two's questioning. He continued to smile and said, I want to take it all for myself. What can you do? Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong were so angry that their faces turned livid. The two of them were no match for Primordial Chaos C in a one-on-one fight, but it was hard to say if they worked together. Primordial Chaos C, you want to take the treasures for yourself? Do you really think that junior sister Tianjiao and I are afraid of you? Han Qigong glared at Primordial Chaos C and said to Han Tianjiao, Junior sister, let's work together to kill him and then split the treasures in this cave abode equally. How about that? The three of them each had their own thoughts, and none of them were good people. Han Tianjiao agreed without thinking. He jumped to Han Qigong's side and shouted at Primordial Chaos C. Since you're a senior brother of the same sect, we can give you a chance to live. Get out of here now, or this place will be your burial place. Han Qigong nodded, expressing his agreement with Han Tianjiao's proposal. In fact, even if the two of them worked together to deal with Primordial Chaos C, it would definitely be a fierce battle. In the end, it was likely that both sides would suffer. They thought that they could scare Primordial Chaos C away by working together, but he raised his head and laughed wildly. Ha ha! Are you two kidding me? Do you think you can beat me if you work together? You're really ignorant. Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong suddenly felt that something was wrong. Primordial Chaos C was a little too confident. It seemed that he still had some hidden trump cards. Before the two of them could figure it out, Primordial Chaos C's aura suddenly skyrocketed. Fine. I'll let you see my true realm now. Boom! Primordial Chaos C's bones crackled like fried soybeans. Then his aura skyrocketed several times, as if his body was much taller. After just a few breaths, Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong exclaimed at the same time. How is this possible? You actually stepped into the Saint King realm? As a 3-star sect, Primordial Chaos Sect's 4 great elders were all at the peak of Immortal Chi Stage 9, but they still couldn't break through the invisible chasm of the Saint King realm. Now that Primordial Chaos C had become a Saint King, the last trace of hope in Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong's hearts was completely shattered. Now, even if the two of them worked together, they definitely wouldn't be Primordial Chaos C's opponent. Haha. Now you know how ignorant you were just now, right? You want to share the treasures with me? What qualifications do you have? Primordial Chaos C was fearless and continued. Since we are all from the same sect, the two of you should hurry up and scram. Don't mention what happened today to anyone in the future, or else I can kill you at any time. The three of them originally had similar statuses, but at this moment, Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong had obviously fallen into the role of underlings. They were suppressing a ball of anger in their hearts, but they didn't dare to vent it out. Humph! Primordial Chaos C, you really did everything for this ancient martial ruins expedition. Actually, you broke through to the Saint King realm long ago, right? You've just been hiding your strength in the sect. Han Tianjiao couldn't help but complain. Primordial Chaos C smiled proudly. That's right, I stepped into the Saint King realm a month ago, and then I tricked the three of you into exploring together. It's also Hun Bai's fault that he died. But even if he didn't die, the three of you still wouldn't be a match for me. Primordial Chaos C had already made a thorough plan. The reason why he asked Han Tianjiao and the other two to explore together was to use them as cannon fodder. Now that they knew the truth, Han Qigong and Han Tianjiao felt sullen, but they still stood in the small cave abode and refused to leave. The 8 spirit pearls embedded in the rock wall were too tempting, and who knew if there were any other heaven-defying treasures in the cave abode? Chapter 1550. Hun Tianjiao and Hun Qigong looked at each other with reluctance and helplessness. The two of them finally decided to leave. Otherwise, they would die if they stayed. But before they walked out of the cave, a figure walked in leisurely as if he was sightseeing. Seeing the person, Han Yuanhai and the other two were shocked. You are not dead yet? How is this possible? Even Elder Hun Tianjiao died in the killing array. How did you survive? The three of them looked as if they had seen a ghost when they saw Qin Fen. The killing array just now was so powerful. It was set up by a Buddha Light Realm expert. Even though Hun Yuanhai had broken through to the Saint King realm, he couldn't resist the attack of the killing array. But Qin Fen was the one who broke the array. It was unbelievable that he was unharmed. Qin Fen said indifferently as if he didn't see their shocked expressions. I saw through that overlapping array a long time ago. I escaped the moment before the killing array was activated. Of course I won't die. The three of them understood and quickly calmed down. Hun Yuanhai still had a smug smile on his face. He felt that the heavens were helping him today. Not only did he find the ancient martial relic, but Qin Fen also came to die. Qin, you should have known that you would end up like this since you dared to kill my beloved disciple, Hun Qianquan. Hun Yuanhai's face suddenly turned cold. Qin Fen didn't look afraid at all. You are right. When I killed Hun Qianquan, I knew that I would kill you today. As soon as he finished speaking, the air in the small cave abode suddenly froze. Hun Yuanhai and the other two looked at him in disbelief. They even suspected that there was something wrong with their ears. What did you just say? You want to kill me? Hun Yuanhai looked at Qin Fen as if he was looking at an idiot. You didn't hear wrong. I came to this ancient martial relic to kill you. Hun Yuanhai suddenly laughed so hard that tears came out of his eyes. He was now a Saint King realm expert, and Qin Fen was at most at stage 8 immortal Qi. How dare this ant talk big about killing him? I want to see how you are going to kill me! Hun Yuanhai roared and suddenly punched at Qin Fen. Yang Kai's aura suddenly soared to the Saint King realm, and the surging momentum shocked Hun Tianjiao and Hun Qigong. Was this the power of a Saint King? Rumble! The wind from the fist descended quickly, blasting a huge pit on the rock wall. The smile on Hun Yuanhai's face suddenly froze. Looking at the empty scene in front of him, a trace of panic rose in his heart. Old man, are you looking for me? A clear voice came from behind Primordial Sea. Without thinking, Primordial Sea turned around and punched. However, he was still half a beat too slow. Before Qin Feng finished speaking, he punched out. Amid the loud noise, Primordial Chaos Sea was sent flying into the rock wall like a kite with a broken string. Rumble! The sound of the collision was incomparably violent, and a human imprint was left on the rock wall. Primordial Chaos Sea slammed into the rock wall, and finally fell to the ground. At this time, he didn't even have the strength to stand up. The fight between the two happened in a split second, so Hun Tianjiao and Hun Qigong were still in a daze. When the two looked at Primordial Chaos Sea who had fallen to the ground, their eyes were filled with shock. It felt like a dream. Cough cough. You have also stepped into the Saint King realm? Primordial Chaos Sea forcefully swallowed the blood that had surged to his throat, and his voice sounded extremely weak. Hun Tianjiao and Hun Qigong couldn't help but exclaim. They couldn't accept the reality in front of them. Qin Fen has stepped into the Saint King realm? Wasn't he only at the 7th stage immortal 2 months ago? Impossible, this is absolutely impossible. Could it be that he ate some kind of elixir like the Berserker pill that temporarily boosted his strength? When Hun Qigong mentioned the Berserker pill, Primordial Chaos Sea and Hun Tianjiao's eyes lit up. The two of them also felt that it must be so. Otherwise, they wouldn't believe that Qin Fen had really stepped into the Saint King realm. Seeing the three of them still comforting themselves at this time, Qin Fen found it funny. You guys don't have to guess anymore. I have indeed stepped into the Saint King realm, Let me tell you another piece of good news. Before I came here, I went to your primordial chaos sect and killed the 8 little elders and your sect master Hun Qing Tian. Fortunately, the 4 of you weren't in the sect at that time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be alive today. Qin Fen's words were so domineering. He didn't take primordial chaos C and the other 2 seriously at all. The 3 of them were shocked, especially when they heard Qin Fen say that he killed sect master Hun Qing Tian. They couldn't help but exclaim, "No, impossible. Sect master Hun Qing Tian has already stepped into the Saint King realm, and he has cultivated the primordial chaos 7 sabers to the 5th stage, illusory form. How can you kill him? Han Tianjiao, Qigong, let's join forces to kill Qin Fen now. I promise to split the treasures in this cave mansion with you." Primordial Chaos C's face changed immediately, and he began to rope in Han Tianjiao and Qigong. He was extremely depressed at this moment. He thought that he would have nothing to fear after breaking through to the Saint King realm. He didn't expect that he would be beaten by the young Qin Fen to the point that he couldn't fight back. Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong didn't say anything. They hadn't recovered from the sudden change in the situation for a while. At this moment, Qin Fen waved his hand casually, and several dazzling purple flames surged out, instantly enveloping primordial chaos C. "You're thinking too much. Hurry up and die!" Whoosh! The sound of burning flames spread throughout the cave mansion, accompanied by primordial chaos C's heart-wrenching screams. Under the power of the purple cloud immortal fire, primordial chaos C didn't even have much room to struggle. He was quickly burned to ashes. Qin Fen waved his hand again, and the purple flames on the ground disappeared along with primordial chaos C's body. It was as if he had never appeared. Young Master Qin, please spare my life. I'm willing to serve you like a slave in the future." Han Qigong finally came to his senses. Looking at Qin Fen slowly walking over, he trembled with fear. Han Tianjiao was also trembling, but she was more amazed in her heart. Back in the Red Street Market, she didn't even think much of Qin Fen. She wasn't even willing to be a handyman disciple for Qin Fen. But in just a few months, Qin Fen had become a Sage King realm powerhouse, destroyed the huge primordial chaos sect with his own strength, and now burned primordial chaos C with a single palm. Just thinking about it was horrifying. "The conflict between you and me has long been formed. How can I let you live today?" Qin Fen's expression was cold. He didn't say much and raised his hand, shooting out a pink light. The starry sky flying sword was as fast as lightning, drawing a beautiful arc in the cave mansion, and piercing the hearts of Han Tianjiao and Han Qigong. At this moment, the elders and sect leader of Primordial Chaos sect were completely annihilated, and this sect would gradually disappear from the North Sand region. Qin Fen's state of mind didn't waver after killing the 3 of them. He casually waved a few balls of purple cloud immortal fire, and soon the cave mansion returned to normal. It was impossible to tell that the 4 people from Primordial Chaos C had been here. After dealing with the aftermath, Qin Fen started to observe in the cave mansion. He had already seen the 8 spiritual pearls embedded in the rock wall, and this was the first time he had seen them. It was only after hearing the introduction of the spiritual pearls from Primordial Chaos C and the other 2 that Qin Fen realized how precious and powerful they were. Qin Fen walked to the side of one of the spiritual pearls, and suddenly, a majestic wave of spiritual energy surged towards him, as if it was endless. "Master, don't be in a hurry to collect the spiritual pearls. Usually, the places where the spiritual pearls appear have a formation set up. Master, be careful!" Just as Qin Fen stretched out his hand, Little Pig's voice sounded. He pulled his hand back, and looked at the 8 spiritual pearls a few times. Suddenly, he found something strange. The placement of the 8 spiritual pearls was very particular. If they were connected by lines in space, it would look like a star pattern. And there was a formation eye in the center of the pattern, but it wasn't the formation eye of the spirit gathering formation, but an extremely well-hidden killing formation. Qin Fen realized that the formation here was similar to the place where he came in, and they were both superimposed formations. Moreover, the formation hidden in the dark was also a killing formation. It could be seen that the person who set up the formation was ingenious and powerful. Since the killing formation had appeared, Qin didn't dare to take the 8 spiritual pearls. Now that the primordial Chaos Sea and the other 2 were dead, he couldn't find a scapegoat to break the formation even if he wanted to. Qin wandered around the small cave dwelling, wanting to see if there were any other treasures. When he walked in front of a rock wall in the southeast corner of the cave dwelling, he suddenly felt a wave of spiritual energy enter it. This made his eyes light up. This rock wall was actually hollow. Rumble! Qin struck out with his palm. Sure enough, after a loud noise, a large hole was blasted open in the hard rock wall. And on the opposite side of the hole, there was a small space less than 10 square meters. There was a stone table and a stone chair inside. It seemed that this was the true cultivation place of the Buddha Light Realm elite. Qin had already entered the small secret room, and he quickly found an ancient yellow book on the stone table. The material of the book was very special. He didn't know what it was made of, but it was soft and smooth like silk in his hand. However, it was very tough, and it was as hard to damage as a defensive ice silk soft armor. Flipping to the first page of the book, there were 5 big words. Fortune of Heaven and Earth's Skill. This book is the supreme cultivation technique that I, the great Tao divinity, created in his lifetime. This cultivation technique is like its name. Great Tao divinity can change heaven and earth, and become a divinity. The essence of this cultivation technique is to integrate with heaven and earth, and use the energy of heaven and earth to create endless changes. If one calmly cultivates, they can at least break through to the hollow God realm. Those with superior spiritual roots can step into the true God realm with the help of heaven's secrets. Qin sat on the stone chair and flipped through the Fortune of Heaven and Earth's Skill page by page. Before he knew it, 2 hours had passed, and Qin's expression was already extremely shocked. Little pig, this cultivation technique seems very powerful. Qin hurriedly asked. Little Pig's face was filled with ecstasy, and it even let out a pig's cry. Ow, ow! Master, you're really lucky? This is a supreme cultivation technique that has been lost in the divine continent for a long time. Even the hedonist sovereign system doesn't have it. Rumor has it that the Fortune of Heaven and Earth's Skill was created by the #1 expert of the divine continent, the great Tao divinity. After the great Tao divinity fell, this cultivation technique was lost for a while. I didn't expect it to appear in the North Sand continent. Qin was already dumbfounded. Chapter 1551. The creation of heaven and earth art was very thick. Quick updates, no ads. Qin spent more than 2 hours, but he only skimmed through the basic content. This was rumored to be the strongest cultivation technique in the divine continent. There were 5 chapters in total, but Qin only had the first chapter, called the Creation chapter. Qin suddenly felt a little worried. Could it be that the ancient book he obtained was incomplete, and the remaining parts were missing? Master, the complete creation of heaven and earth art has 5 chapters. It seems that you only obtained one of them, Little Pig said. Qin's excitement was doused with a bucket of cold water. If it was only 1 chapter, then there was no way to cultivate it. However, Little Pig continued, Master, don't worry. It is said that the 5 chapters of the creation of heaven and earth art are progressive. Even if you obtain the complete version, you can only cultivate from the first chapter, then the second, the third. And the creation chapter that Master obtained is the first chapter of the creation of heaven and earth art. You can definitely cultivate it. Qin was energized again. He finally realized what Little Pig said at the beginning. He was really lucky. Knowing that the ancient book in his hand was incomplete, but it could still be cultivated, Qin put it away in his star ring like a treasure. Qin began to search the small cave again to see if there were any other treasures. However, after a while, he didn't find any other treasures that could surprise him. This should be the cultivation abode of that Buddha light stage powerhouse, and there were many pills used for breakthroughs inside. However, he didn't know what happened to that elite to leave the creation chapter of the creation of heaven and earth art here, After going around the small cave a few more times and making sure he didn't miss anything, Qin Feng decided to leave. When he came out of the large cave, his gaze immediately fell on the 8 spiritual pearls embedded in the rock wall. These spiritual pearls can't be left here. I have to think of a way to take them away, Qin Feng muttered. Little Pig immediately said, Master, these spiritual pearls contain a killing formation. As long as you break the killing formation, you can take the spiritual pearls away. This reminder seemed like nonsense, but it made Qin Feng's eyes light up. The killing formation was left behind by a Buddha Light Realm elite. Its power was extraordinary. However, Qin Feng didn't necessarily have to break the formation. He just had to find a scapegoat. When he thought of this, Qin Feng's body suddenly emitted a loud noise. 6 clouds of black mist suddenly filled the entire cave abode, almost blocking Qin Feng's line of sight. Qin Feng had already retreated into the small cave abode, using his thoughts to command the 5 kings and 1 golden ghost talisman. Rumble! Soon, an earth-shattering noise came from the cave outside. The sounds were continuous, shaking the entire valley. Qin Feng knew that it was the sound of the killing formation being activated, and the 5 kings and 1 venerable were instantly destroyed by the surging aura of the killing formation. However, these 6 people were originally in the state of soul power, so as long as Qin Feng activated the golden ghost head talisman again, they would appear again. The loud noise lasted for more than 10 minutes. Qin Feng hid in the small cave dwelling and was not attacked by the killing array. When everything calmed down, he walked out again. After some observation, he was sure that there were no more hidden killing formations in the area. Qin Feng's eyes burned as he looked at the 8 soul pearls on the rock wall, but he wasn't in a hurry to put them away. In this big cave, there was a spirit gathering array, and the spirit chi in the cave was surging like a tide. He intended to absorb the spirit chi first. Time passed very quickly. Qin Feng sat cross-legged and calmed his mind to cultivate. After an unknown period of time, there were continuous muffled sounds coming from his body. When he opened his eyes again, the aura in his body was many times stronger, and he had already stepped into the 3rd level Holy King. Congratulations on breaking through to the 3rd level Holy King, Master! Little Pig looked excited. Qin Feng jumped up and punched out at the same time. Rumble! There was a loud explosion. The rock wall in front of him suddenly exploded, and a hole was directly connected to the hidden small cave abode behind it. Qin Feng looked at his fist in disbelief. The strength of the 3rd level Holy King was more than 10 times stronger than the strength of a 1st level Holy King. At this moment, he was somewhat glad that he didn't fight with Wu Kuxing and the others who were chasing him, or else he would have been defeated by Wu Kuxing. The spirit chi in the big cave abode had become thin. Qin Feng put the 8 soul pearls into his star ring, and in the next moment, the spirit gathering array that supported the circulation of the entire cave abode broke by itself. This ancient martial relic was already in ruins, so Qin Feng didn't stay and left quickly with the treasures he had obtained. When he arrived outside the 5 Elements Mountain, he found someone and asked for the time. More than half a month had passed since the Flower City auction, which meant that he had been cultivating in the small cave abode for a full half a month. Qin Feng hurriedly decided to return to Luo City. He wanted to study the creation of heaven and earth skill, and then refine some elixirs that he needed for a breakthrough. He wanted to use the 8 soul pearls to make a new round of breakthrough. As he hurried on his way, he heard the sound of a fight coming from not far away. Chi-Ho, you are so despicable! As the little elder of the dignified 4-star sex equal heaven sect, you came to rob a weak woman like me. Heh! The divine continent has always been a place where the strong are respected, so there is no such thing as being despicable or not. Moreover, after I kill someone and rob them today, who will know what I have done? At the foot of a mountain not far away, 6 people gathered. A woman in a black robe with a black veil covering her face stood on one side, and on the other side was a group of disciples led by Chi-Ho. When Qin Feng saw the woman in the black veil, he immediately recognized her. She was the woman who had spent 3 million spirit stones to obtain the golden leaf grass at the Flower City auction. At that time, she had offended Chi-Ho because of the bidding. She did not expect Chi-Ho to chase after this woman. Originally, Qin Feng could not be bothered to intervene in this kind of dispute, but he had long been dissatisfied with Chi-Ho. At the auction, Chi-Ho had threatened Qin Feng twice, and he had even attacked him backstage. At that time, if Sister Hong had not stopped him, Qin Feng would have most likely been seriously injured. The fight at the foot of the mountain temporarily stopped. The woman was also a third-level Holy King, so she could have fought evenly with Chi-Ho. Unfortunately, Chi-Ho had the help of 4 disciples, and one of them had even stepped into the first-level Holy King. In such a situation where she was outnumbered, the woman was seriously injured. She held her sword in one hand, and her other hand covered the right side of her chest. Chi-Ho had just slashed that area, and fresh blood was spurting out. "Bitch, I advise you to hand over the golden leaf grass obediently, and I can spare your life. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude," Chi-Ho said coldly. Shua Xiaoya rolled her eyes at him. How could she be willing to hand over the golden leaf grass? Putting aside the fact that this golden leaf grass had cost her life savings, she knew that even if she really gave the golden leaf grass to Chi-Ho, that despicable person would not spare her life. Cut the crap. If you want to take the golden leaf grass, you have to kill me first. Shua Xiaoya's expression was cold. This woman was not considered pretty, and her face was full of vicissitudes. It was obvious that her path of cultivation was very difficult. The cold gleam in Chi-Ho's eyes intensified. He had originally wanted to trick Shua Xiaoya into submitting to him, so that he could avoid a fierce battle. Now that this woman seemed to have seen through his intentions, Chi-Ho did not say anything more. "Then die." Rumble! With a furious roar, Chi-Ho slashed down with his sword. Instantly, a 100-meter-long crack appeared on the ground. Shua Xiaoya was a third-level Holy King expert, after all. As she dodged Chi-Ho's attack, she flew toward the 4 disciples. Stab! She thrust her sword out without any fancy moves. Instead, her sword pierced through the throat of the disciple with the lowest ability, killing him on the spot. The remaining 3 disciples retreated in fear. Chi-Ho was so angry that he shouted, "You bitch, how dare you kill the disciples of my equal of heaven faction? Today, not only will I snatch your golden leaf grass, I will also kill you." Shua Xiaoya was furious. She was originally chasing after a disciple, but suddenly, she thrust her sword at Chi-Ho. "You bastard, I will kill you!" Seeing that she was angered, Chi-Ho laughed coldly in his heart. He did not care about the sharpness of Shua Xiaoya's sword. With a light leap, he appeared behind Shua Xiaoya, swung his sword, and instantly sent Shua Xiaoya flying to the ground. Rumble! A huge pit was blasted open on the ground. Shua Xiaoya knew that she had been tricked, but she was powerless. She held the golden leaf grass tightly in her right hand. She had already made up her mind. As long as Chi-Ho appeared, she would immediately destroy the golden leaf grass and then commit suicide. Even if she died, she would not let that bastard have it easy. A gust of strong wind blew, and Chi-Ho's cold and wretched face soon appeared in Shua Xiaoya's sight. However, before Shua Xiaoya could take action, a clear voice was heard. "Chi-Ho, you are really a bastard!" Chi-Ho, who was about to swing his sword, was suddenly stunned. He landed on the ground and looked towards the source of the voice. When he saw Qin Feng, who was standing tens of meters away, his face was instantly filled with a cold smile. "Ha ha! So it's you, boy. You came just in time. I was prepared to look for you after snatching this woman's golden leaf grass." Shua Xiaoya's eyes flashed with astonishment. She had not expected Qin Feng to appear here. Of course, she also recognized Qin Feng. This fellow had been very eye-catching at the Huaqing auction half a month ago. He had defeated Chi-Ho, and the forging faction's Gao Giant Pain. However, despair quickly returned to Shua Xiaoya's eyes. She realized that even if Qin Feng came, he would only be sending himself to his death. It was impossible for him to change the situation. Young hero, leave quickly! You are no match for Chi-Ho! Chua Xiaoya shouted. She was already prepared to die anyway. She did not want to see Qin Feng die in vain. However, Qin Feng acted as if he did not hear her. He stood there with his hands behind his back with an indifferent expression. Chi-Ho seemed to be worried that Qin Feng would really escape. He gave the 3 disciples a look. Swoosh! A gust of wind blew, and the 3 disciples had already arrived beside Qin Feng. They surrounded him from all sides. Chi-Ho continued to stand guard by Chua Xiaoya's side, preventing her from escaping. With a playful expression, he shouted at Qin Feng. Stinking brat, hand over all the treasures and spirit stones on you obediently, and I will spare your life. Chi-Ho knew that Qin Feng was rich. He was already very excited. He was going to earn a lot today. Chua Xiaoya hurriedly shouted. Young hero, don't believe Chi-Ho's nonsense. Run quickly! Her continuous shouts enraged Chi-Ho. He slapped Chua Xiaoya and knocked her out on the spot. How noisy! After I kill that brat, I will definitely satisfy your body. Chapter 1552. Qin Feng's expression turned cold, but it quickly returned to normal. However, endless killing intent flashed in his eyes. He looked at Chi-Ho as if he was looking at a dead man. Brat, are you deaf? I want you to take out your treasure, or else I'll kill you with one slash. Seeing that Qin Feng did not move, Chi-Ho looked a little impatient. Half a month ago, at the Flower City auction, Chi-Ho had investigated Qin Feng's abilities. He was merely a first-level Saint King, so he did not take him seriously at all. Seeing that Elder Chi-Ho was enraged, the faces of the 3 disciples turned cold. One of the disciples who had stepped into the first level of Saint King was extremely arrogant. He pointed his long blade at Qin Feng and shouted, I'll give you 5 seconds. If you don't take out your treasures and spirit stones, I'll cut off your head. Qin Feng looked at the disciple and sneered. I'll give you 3 seconds. If you want to live, move the blade away. The disciple was taken aback, but he quickly regained his senses. You're courting death. Rumble. There was a loud explosion. It wasn't the disciple who had slashed Qin Feng in half. Instead, a ball of purple flames rose up and burned the disciple. The flames were incomparably fierce, and the saint ruler disciple didn't even have the chance to scream before his figure disappeared. The other 2 disciples were dumbfounded. Their attacks were stuck in a deadlock, but before they could recover, Qin Feng swung his palms again, and the 2 disappeared into the sea of fire. Rumble! The purple dusk immortal flames were still burning and exploding in the void like 3 small suns. Chi-Ho's expression changed drastically, and his eyeballs almost fell to the ground. Qin Feng's strength was completely beyond his imagination. You were actually hiding your strength? You're also a 3rd-stage Saint King? Chi-Ho's previous arrogance had mostly dissipated, and when he spoke, his voice trembled slightly. Qin Feng walked towards him step by step, his voice cold. I did not hide my strength. Half a month ago, I was indeed a 1st-level Saint King, but now I have broken through to 3rd-level Saint King. As soon as he said that, Chi-Ho's face was filled with shock. In just half a month's time, he was able to break through from the 1st level to the 3rd level of the Saint King realm? No one would believe such a thing. Even the top genius cultivators of the Northern Sands region would not be able to do such a thing. Humph! Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Don't think I'm afraid of you just because you're a 3rd-grade Saint King. Let me see if you can handle it. Rumble. Chi-Ho calmed down quickly and slashed at Qin Feng with his saber. After realizing that Qin Feng was also a 3rd-level Holy King, Chi-Ho did not dare to hold anything back. The seemingly simple slash contained 80% of his aura. Immediately, a loud sound shook the heavens, and a crack appeared on the ground. It was like a flying dragon charging towards Qin Feng. Before it reached his feet, Qin Feng leaped up and slashed down with his saber. Boom! Both of their saber chis were incomparably ferocious. As soon as they started fighting, countless cracks appeared on the ground around them. After fighting for a while, Qin Feng realized how powerful Chi-Ho was. Although both of them were third-level Saint Kings, Chi-Ho had clearly stabilized his cultivation level a long time ago, while Qin Feng had just broken through an hour ago. Ha! So you've only just stepped into the third-grade Saint King realm, yet you dare to fight me with such strength? You're practically seeking death. The more Chi-Ho fought, the more ferocious he became. At this moment, his originally nervous mood had also become light. Qin Feng retreated rapidly. The ferocious saber-chees exploded around him one after another, and a few of the sabers brushed past his scalp. Master, you can use the mixed element 7 sabers to deal with Chi-Ho. Little Pig's voice was heard. After Qin Feng killed Hun Qi-Tian previously, he had obtained the mixed element 6 supreme saber technique, the mixed element 7 sabers. However, he had not had the time to study it. Now that the battle was intense, Qin Feng could not free himself. I haven't learned how to use it yet, Qin Feng asked. Master, you can learn it now. You have to believe in the power of the creation of heaven and earth skill. The creation chapter focuses on creation, Little Pig said. Qin Feng was slightly surprised. He did not know if Little Pig was telling the truth. He realized that the saber technique that Chi-Ho was using was not simple. If he continued to fight recklessly, he would be defeated by Chi-Ho sooner or later. Qin Feng hurriedly used his telekinesis to look at the mixed element 7 sabers in his star ring. He did not have the time to look at all of them, so he quickly scanned through the mantra for the first form. Transform the saber into Qi, transform Qi into a saber, and attack with the Sea of Clouds. This was a supreme heaven tier technique, and the mantra was very difficult to understand. After Qin Feng finished reading, he did not understand much. Ha! I really don't know where you got the courage to choose a saber weapon. Your saber technique is really lousy. Chi-Ho could already tell that Qin Feng did not know how to use a saber. At least in the eyes of an expert like him who mainly focused on saber techniques, Qin Feng's saber technique was like a child's random swings. As Chi-Ho's laughter rang out, he swung his saber again. Suddenly, a surging saber-chi surged forward. The saber-chi actually condensed into thousands of spiderweb-like chi nets that enveloped Qin Feng. Stinking brat, I'll let you see the power of the 1,000-thread slash! The saber-chi was like silk, lingering endlessly. This seemingly weak saber-chi actually hid boundless killing intent. Qin Feng was trapped in the saber-chi silk net, and did not even have a place to dodge. He tried to swing his saber a few times, but when the surging aura of the golden phoenix collided with the saber-chi net, it was like punching cotton. Ha! Other than brute force, what else do you have? My 1,000-thread slash is the supreme saber technique of the Equal Heaven faction. Let's see how you're going to break it. Seeing that Qin Feng was trapped in the saber-chi net, Chi-Ho laughed out loud. The saber-chi net was getting closer and closer, leaving Qin Feng with less than 5 square meters of space to move. Seeing that ordinary saber attacks were completely ineffective, in a moment of desperation, a saber technique mantra suddenly surged in Qin Feng's mind. Transform the saber into Qi, transform Qi into saber, and attack with the saber Qi. This mantra was the mantra for the first move of the mixed element 7 sabers, Cloud Slash. Unknowingly, when the mantra appeared in Qin Feng's mind, he subconsciously swung his saber. Suddenly, a majestic saber-chi surged out, rapidly condensing into clouds and shrouding the saber-chi net. Rumble! Following that, a loud explosion rang out. The saber cloud and the saber-chi net intertwined like a couple in love. And Qin Feng had already escaped through a crack in the saber-chi net. The explosions had yet to stop. Chi-Ho stood rooted to the ground, looking at Qin Feng, who had broken his move and escaped. The 1,000-thread slash was the supreme saber technique of the Equal Heaven faction. After he had used this ultimate move, he had killed countless revered martial artists of the same cultivation level. Who would have thought that it would be broken by a young lad today? And this was just the beginning. When Qin Feng swung his saber, a new mantra appeared in his mind again. It was the second move of the mixed element 7 sabers. Sea of Fire! Rumble! The previous commotion had yet to stop, and a new round of loud explosions reverberated in the sky. The sky was surrounded by a sea of fire. When the saber-chi net shrouded the saber-chi net, the saber-chi net immediately disappeared. The violent fireball fell on Chi-Ho, and he finally came to his senses. With a leap, he flew dozens of meters away. Although he had dodged the attack of the sea of fire, the astonishment in Chi-Ho's eyes was hard to subside. He really couldn't imagine how Qin Feng, who didn't know how to use saber techniques just now, could suddenly become so exquisite. "Little monkey, what do you think of these two saber moves, Cloud Slash and Sea of Fire?" Qin Feng chuckled as he looked at Monkey Chi. In reality, he was also astonished. To be honest, Qin Feng had never truly studied the mixed essence 7 sabers, let alone executed such a profound saber technique. However, when he used it, its power was much stronger than when he used universe chaos. "Master, this is the power of the fortune of heaven and earth art," Little Pig said with a smile. Qin Feng understood. So it was the creation chapter that had taken effect. This was the first time he had comprehended the essence of the creation chapter. All martial techniques and cultivation techniques were created by heaven and earth. When the creation reached a certain level, the mixed origin 7 sabers would be self-taught. Rumble! The sea of fire attack landed completely, and the plains were full of holes. Monkey Chi was so angry that he gritted his teeth. With a twist of his hand, he struck out with his saber again. "Humph! It's just a small move, yet you're so proud. I'll let you see what a real saber art is." Whoosh! As the saber descended, the dense spiderweb appeared once again. Qin Feng furrowed his brows. He quickly realized that the net of blades this time was slightly different from last time. Previously, the net of knives was like a spider's silk, soft and lingering. At this time, although it was also a dense net of knives, it was as hard and sharp as steel wire. It was as if it could instantly cut a person into pieces. Boom! The speed of this saber was obviously faster. However, while Qin Feng was distracted, the thousands of sharp, steel-like saber auras were inches away. Whoosh! Qin Feng didn't even think and hurriedly swung his saber. When the saber's edge slashed down, a new mantra flashed in his mind. Frozen sky! As the saber descended, the weather changed. The sky was filled with wind and snow, and Qin Feng's surroundings were covered in ice and snow. Chi-Ho's saber net attacked, but it was blocked by the layers of hard, overlapping ice. Even when the saber auras were exhausted, it didn't hurt Qin Feng at all. Chi-Ho was stunned by the world of ice and snow in front of him. A saber art that could cause the weather to change was impressive. At least the 1,000-thread slash that he practiced hadn't reached this level, or rather, he hadn't cultivated it to that level. But in a trance, the ice layer turned into countless icicles and attacked. Chi-Ho was instantly flustered. The long saber in his hand danced wildly, and there was no order to speak of. However, no matter how fast his saber art was, it couldn't cut through the thousands of icicles. When more and more icicles hit Chi-Ho's body, his body kept retreating, and the saber auras that he swung out also kept weakening. "Little monkey, you can die in peace!" Qin Feng found the right opportunity. This time, he didn't use the mixed elements 7 sabers. He unleashed all the aura in his body, and a simple and violent slash landed. The several 100-meter-long saber aura turned into a long dragon and directly penetrated Chi-Ho's body. Rumble! In the explosion, Chi-Ho was blasted into flesh and blood. A level 3 Holy King powerhouse died just like that. After a long time, the loud noise finally stopped completely. Looking at the surroundings, it was as if a war had happened. Ha ha! In the end, these 2 flying swords still returned to me. Qin Feng held Chi-Ho's storage ring and felt it was funny. Chapter 1553. After Qin Feng put away Chi-Ho's storage ring, he went to check on Zhuo Xiaoye's situation. This woman had reminded him many times to leave. She was a kind-hearted woman. At this moment, Zhuo Xiaoye was lying in a large pit with many wounds on her body. Her black robe was in tatters, revealing large areas of her snow-white skin. Although this woman's appearance was ordinary, her body was abnormally hot. Qin Feng felt an evil fire burning in his belly. Cough, cough. Ah, what are you doing? Shuoxia suddenly woke up. After coughing violently, she subconsciously covered her chest and moved backward. Qin Feng retracted his burning gaze and said, "Don't be afraid. I have no ill intentions towards you." Shuoxia quickly calmed down. She immediately looked at her right hand and saw that the golden leaf grass was still there. Her anxious heart immediately relaxed. However, before she could relax, she hurriedly shouted, Young hero, leave quickly. That Chiho is a third-level holy king. You are no match for him." Qin Feng smiled and said, "Chiho and the other disciples are already dead, so you don't have to worry." Shuoxia was stunned and immediately looked behind Qin Feng. There was not even a shadow in the open space. If not for the traces of an intense battle, Shuoxia would have suspected that Chiho and the other four had never appeared. You killed them?" Shuoxia knew she was asking nonsense. There would be no one else at the foot of this desolate mountain other than the few of them. However, she could not accept this fact. Qin Feng was only a first-level holy king. How could he kill Chiho? Qin Feng did not explain further. He looked at the golden leaf grass in Shuoxia's hand and said, "You spent 3 million to bid for this spirit grass. Are you planning to refine a golden soul pill?" Shuoxia's expression changed greatly, and she subconsciously tightened her grip on the golden leaf grass. Her cultivation path was extremely bumpy. Without a strong family or sect to back her up, she had to walk forward carefully. Along the way, she had seen the sinister and greedy side of people. Now, Qin Feng had saved her life for no reason. Could it be that he wanted her golden leaf grass? "Young hero, thank you for saving my life. Shuoxia is unable to repay you. I can't give you this golden leaf grass." Shuoxia stared at Qin Feng vigilantly. She thought that if Qin Feng suddenly shed all pretenses of cordiality, she would destroy the golden leaf grass and commit suicide. Qin Feng smiled and said, "My name is Qin Feng. Perhaps you've misunderstood. I'm not interested in the golden leaf grass in your hands. But you don't look like an alchemist, so this stalk of spirit grass is useless to you." Shuoxia didn't let down her guard because of Qin Feng's words. At this time, she forced herself to stand up. "Thank you for the reminder, young hero Qin. I know some pill refiners." Qin Feng could tell that Shuoxia was on guard against him, which made him speechless. A stalk of golden leaf grass was like a treasure to other warriors, but Qin Feng really did not care about it. Now that he had a close relationship with Luo City's castellan, Shi Tsang, and the Ma family's patriarch, Ma Xingkong, he could get his hands on the golden leaf grass with just a word. Qin Feng did not mention helping Shuoxia concoct pills. He knew that if he did, she would be even more guarded against him. However, seeing that the woman was heavily injured, Qin Feng said, "Where are you going? I can give you a ride." After all, Shuoxia had just met Qin Feng, so it was normal for her to be more guarded against him. However, Shuoxia felt that Qin Feng did not seem like a bad person. Plus, she was heavily injured, so she could easily be robbed again if she walked alone. After some hesitation, Shuoxia nodded and agreed to go with Qin Feng. On the way, the two of them more or less chatted. Qin Feng found out that Shuoxia's family lived in Pill City, which was a very famous place in the northern sand continent. It was where the most powerful alchemists gathered. After rushing for a day, the two of them arrived at Pill City. Although it was already nighttime, the streets of Pill City were still filled with people. Qin Feng could not help but sigh. This Pill City was even more prosperous than Flower City. "Young hero Qin, this should be your first time coming to Pill City, right? Because pills are one of the indispensable resources for warriors to cultivate, Pill City is flourishing. Many rogue cultivators and foreign disciples would come to Pill City to search for pills to break through." Shuoxia took the initiative to introduce Pill City's history and the major powers to Qin Feng. Along the way, The two of them became much closer. When he heard about the treasure pill tower, Qin Feng frowned slightly. There was a branch of the treasure pill tower in Luo City. Because Qin Feng broke Bian Kun's legs, he became enemies with the head of the Luo City branch, Bian Xionghu. What's wrong, young hero Qin? Do you have a grudge with the treasure pill tower? Zhuo Xiaya had been through a lot, and was definitely a woman who could read people's expressions. When Qin Feng frowned, she saw that something was wrong. Qin Feng laughed, shook his head and did not say anything. The two of them had already entered Pill City. Zhuo Xiaya lived in the poorest courtyard in the old street. The courtyard was cold and quiet, and there was nothing valuable in the house. However, both the inside and outside of the courtyard were very clean and tidy. It could be seen that this woman was very virtuous. Young hero Qin, please sit for a while. I'll go change. It was Zhuo Xiaoya's first time bringing a man home, so she felt a little awkward. Her clothes were tattered and her body was covered in blood. She ran into the inner room to take a bath. Qin Feng very consciously went to the outer courtyard and sat on a stone chair to study the creation of heaven and earth technique. Not long ago, he learned the first 3 moves of the mixed essence 7 blades from the creation of heaven and earth technique. After a new round of research, Qin Feng understood. This creation of heaven and earth technique mainly focused on understanding creation. Qin Feng had previously fought with the mixed essence sect disciples and saw them use the mixed essence 7 blades. During their fight, Qin Feng naturally understood the core essence of the mixed essence 7 blades. Now, under the guidance of the creation of heaven and earth technique, he quickly understood the first 3 moves of the blade technique. Little pig, this creation of heaven and earth technique is like a Sharingan. Qin Feng was extremely excited. Little pig laughed and said, Master is right. However, Master has just obtained the creation of heaven and does not have a deep understanding of the essence of the creation of heaven and earth technique. When Master truly cultivates the creation of heaven and earth technique to perfection, he will be able to understand all kinds of secret techniques, and even create his own divine technique. He will also be able to understand and break through bottlenecks in cultivation. The more Little Pig spoke, the more excited Qin Feng became. On the path of cultivation, comprehension was extremely important. Many martial artists were stuck at a realm because they lacked comprehension, unable to break through for the rest of their lives. This was something that could not be seen or touched, and there was no substantial way to improve it. But now that Qin Feng cultivated the creation of heaven and earth technique, his comprehension would increase imperceptibly. Qin Feng collected his thoughts and began to examine the 4th move of the mixed essence 7 blades. In fact, this saber technique manual only showed its true power when it reached the 4th move. Not everyone could withstand the power of the thunder-crashing saber. Thunder is drawn from the heavens, and the one who draws the thunder must first become one with the heavens. The heart technique of the 4th move was even more profound. If it was before, Qin Feng would definitely not be able to comprehend it. But ever since he obtained the creation of heaven and earth technique, he always felt an erratic thought flashing through his mind. When Qin Feng jumped and the blade landed, the weather changed dramatically. The blade cloud above his head instantly condensed, and over a dozen lightning bolts as thick as toothpicks landed in the courtyard. Crackle! The power of the lightning wasn't strong, and the sound of thunder was also somewhat soft. The blue stone in the courtyard didn't even crack, which was enough to show that Qin Feng's thunder collapse had no destructive power at all. However, Qin Feng's face was full of surprise. In the end, he had successfully slashed out the 4th move of the mixed essence 7 blades, Thunder Collapse. Moreover, this was his first time using it. As for the power being unsatisfactory, as long as he practiced more, he would be able to completely unleash the power of this blade sooner or later. Young hero Qin, what happened just now? Zhuo Xiya ran out of the house. She had already changed into a long white dress, and her wet hair draped over her shoulders. It was obvious that she had rushed over after being frightened by the commotion outside. Qin Feng's gaze fell on this woman. Although Zhuo Xiya's appearance was average, her figure was surprisingly well developed. Even though it was a loose dress, it was still somewhat tight because of her body. Young hero Qin, what's wrong? Being stared at by Qin Feng, Zhuo Xiaoya was a little flustered, and a blush immediately appeared on her face. Qin Feng quickly retracted his gaze and said awkwardly, Hee hee. Sister I'm really sorry. I was practicing just now and accidentally scared you. Zhuo Xiaoya relaxed and said, Young hero Qin, since this is your first time in Pill City, let me take you around. I happen to be looking for someone to help me refine the Golden Soul Pill. Qin Feng was quite interested in Pill City, so he followed Zhuo Xiaoya out of the house. Although it was night time, the streets and alleys of Pill City were bustling with activity. This was indeed the #1 Pill City in the northern Sand Continent. There was an elixir shop every 100 meters. Young hero Qin, Pill City has gathered almost all the elixir shops in the northern Sand Continent. If you need elixirs for breaking through, you can buy them directly from Pill City. If you can't find them in Pill City, you won't be able to find them anywhere else in the northern Sand Continent. Pill City has the 4 strongest elixir shops: Square Tower, Treasure Pill Tower, Elixir Association, Immortal Herb Gate. Square Tower is the leader of the 4 elixir shops, and the #1 elixir sect in the northern Sand Continent. Rumor has it that they have a Tier 1 Tier 8 alchemy immortal. Zhuo Xiaoya introduced the situation of Pill City to Qin Feng as they walked. Qin Feng knew that in the Divine Supreme Continent, alchemists were divided into 6 levels. From the Beginner Pill Master, Spirit Pill Master, Gold Pill Master, Pill King, Alchemy Immortal, and then to the top Pill God. However, this was the first time he heard that each level had subdivisions. Zhuo Xiaoya looked at Qin Feng in surprise. As a cultivator of the Divine Supreme Continent, Qin Feng didn't even know about the subdivisions of alchemists. However, she didn't pay too much attention to it. She explained patiently. Every level of alchemist is subdivided into 9 levels. For example, Tier 1 Pill King to Tier 9 Pill King. Because there are too many types of Tier 7 King pills, some alchemists can only refine 1 or 2 types, while others can refine all of them. After the introduction, Qin Feng understood. At the same time, he made a rough assessment of his current alchemy level. He could refine a small portion of Tier 7 King pills, which was roughly equivalent to a Tier 3 or Tier 4 Pill King. Qin Feng recalled what Zhuo Xiaoya had said. Rumor had it that the Square Tower had a Tier 1 Tier 8 Pill Immortal. This shocked Qin Feng. We're here. Chapter 1554. Qin Feng had a grudge with Luo City's Treasure Pill Tower, so he didn't have a good impression of them. No advertisement. But seeing that Zhuo Xiaoya had already walked in, Qin Feng followed. As the #2 Pill Tower in the entire North Sand Continent, Treasure Pill Tower had abundant resources. At this time, there were many cultivators buying pills in the hall. Qin Feng scanned the hall and found that all pills below Golden Core quality were sold here. Young hero Qin, Treasure Pill Tower only sells miraculous pills and spirit pills. For Golden Core or higher quality pills, you need to hire a pill refiner here to refine them, or go to the inner hall to buy them at a high price. Zhuo Xiaoya introduced the situation of the Pill Treasure Tower to Qin Feng. She had met Qin Feng at the Flower City auction house and knew that Qin Feng was a rich person. It's rare for young hero Qin to come to Pill City. If there are any pills that you lack, you can buy them from this shop. Qin Feng knew that Zhuo Xiaoya was reminding him out of goodwill, but he didn't lack pills at the moment. He was a rank 3 rank 7 pill king, so he could refine any pills he needed. But Qin Feng didn't say much about his pill refining skills. After all, he had only known Zhuo Xiaoya for less than a day. Zhuo Xiaoya was a little guarded against Qin Feng, so Qin Feng naturally wouldn't open his heart to this woman. The two waited in the hall for a while before an ordinary disciple of Treasure Pill Tower walked over. You too, Alchemist Lu has arrived. Please follow me. Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya followed the disciple into a luxurious room. The disciple left after sending them in. Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya walked in. The room was made of high-quality wood, and it had an ancient feel to it. On the east side of the room was a wooden platform. A middle-aged man in a gray robe was sitting there cultivating. "Pill Master Lu, sorry to disturb you." Shuoxiaoya went up to greet Pill Master Lu respectfully. This Pill Master Lu was a rank 3 rank 6 gold Pill Master of Treasure Pill Tower. His status in Treasure Pill Tower was neither high nor low. But in the eyes of outsiders like Shuoxiaoya, Pill Master Lu was a high and mighty existence. Lu Hui seemed to not hear Shuoxiaoya's words and was still sitting there calmly. After waiting for more than 10 minutes, he slowly opened his eyes. "What kind of pill do you want me to refine?" Lu Hui glanced at Shuoxiaoya indifferently, clearly not taking this woman seriously. However, his gaze lingered on Shuoxiaoya's voluptuous figure for a few seconds. Shuoxiaoya did not notice these details at all. When she heard Alchemist Lu's question, she immediately said excitedly, "Alchemist Lu, I would like to ask you to help me refine a golden soul pill." Lu Hui nodded. The golden soul pill was a type of 6th grade golden pill that required a level 3 golden pill master to successfully refine. Lu Hui was barely able to refine the golden soul pill. "You'll have to prepare your own materials if you want to concoct pills from me," Lu Hui said haughtily. Shuoxiaoya hurriedly took out the golden leaf grass she obtained from the Flower City auction and respectfully said, "Alchemist Lu, I only obtained the main ingredient for the golden soul pill, but I'm willing to buy the other ingredients from Treasure Pill Tower." In the refinement of the golden soul pill, the most difficult spirit herb to find was the golden leaf grass. As for the other auxiliary herbs, they were common. Lu Hui's eyes lit up when he saw the golden leaf grass. He was currently only a first-stage Saint King, and the golden soul pill was an excellent pill for breaking through to the 4th-stage Saint King. It was also what he lacked. However, Lu Hui quickly pretended to be indifferent. He carefully looked at Shuoxiaoya. Seeing that this woman did not look like a disciple of a big sect or family, some thoughts rose in his mind. "Buying the remaining herbs plus the cost of my work will cost a total of 1,000,000 upper-grade spirit stones," Lu Hui suddenly said. Shuoxiaoya's expression changed drastically. This price was much higher than she had expected. In fact, Shuoxiaoya had already inquired about the fees of Treasure Pill Tower. A level 3 golden pill cost at most 100,000 spirit stones, and the rest of the auxiliary herbs would not exceed 100,000 spirit stones. So, Shuoxiaoya prepared 200,000 spirit stones. She thought it would be enough, but now she found that it was not what she had expected. "Alchemist Lu, why is it so expensive? Are you sure you heard me right? I want to refine a level 3/6 golden pill." Shuoxiaoya was anxious. After spending 3,000,000 spirit stones on the golden leaf grass, she only had 200,000 spirit stones left. Lu Hui's expression turned cold. He reprimanded, "What do you mean? Are you saying that I'm cheating you?" Shuoxiaoya was too anxious that she did not pay attention to her words. She quickly calmed down and explained, "Alchemist Lu, please don't be angry. I have also asked a pill tower master to refine a level 3 golden pill before. The fee seems to be only 100,000 upper-grade spirit stones." Shuoxiaoya carefully looked at Lu Hui. Lu Hui was a little flustered. He thought this woman in front of him did not know anything. He did not expect her to be so knowledgeable. However, Lu Hui had already said it. How could he easily change his words? Moreover, he did not put Shuoxiaoya in his eyes. This kind of woman without any backing or background, he did not have any temper to suppress her. "Humph! Don't compare me with ordinary pill tower masters. Go ask around and see what my status is among the Golden Pill Tower's Golden Pill Tower. There are countless people looking for me to refine pills. If you can't afford it, get out. Don't waste my time." Seeing Lu Hui was angry, Shuoxiaoya was so anxious that she broke out in cold sweat. In Treasure Pill House, there was a rule that if a pill master refused to refine pills for them, then the rest of the pill house's pill masters would no longer accept the order. "Alchemist Lu, my daughter did not mean that. It's just that I came in a hurry and only prepared 200,000 spirit stones. I hope Alchemist Lu can be kind and help my daughter this time." Shuoxiaoya's mood fell to the bottom. Her original plan was very good. But now it seemed that all her efforts may be wasted. Lu Hui coldly snorted. Humph! How can there be such a thing as a pie falling from the sky? The price of 1 million won't be lower. If you don't have the money, leave. Shuxia's tears welled up in her eyes. She even secretly glanced at Qin Feng. Qin Feng was a rich man. Should she borrow 800,000 spirit stones from him first? But in the end, Shuxia was too embarrassed to ask. Qin Feng saved her life and she could not repay him. How could she ask Qin Feng for money? Seeing that there was no hope of refining pills, Shuxia could only dejectedly prepare to leave. But before she could walk out the door, Lu Hui's cold voice sounded. There is a way to help you refine pills. Shuxia was overjoyed. She hurriedly ran back. Alchemist Lu, please tell me. I will do my best to do it. Lu Hui didn't really want Shuxia to leave just now. It was all a self-directed and self-acted show. Seeing that Shuxia was eager to refine golden soul pills, Lu Hui's eyes flashed with a hint of a smile. He stared at Shuxia's full chest and pretended to be calm as he said, Since you don't have enough spirit stones, then use something else to make up for it. I can refine 2 golden soul pills per batch. You can only get 1. Also, stay here tonight and accompany me. Shuxia did not want many golden soul pills. She was satisfied to get 1. But after hearing Lu Hui's words, Shuxia's face turned cold. She did not expect this alchemist Lu to be a beast in disguise. Alchemist Lu, what nonsense are you talking about? Shuxia glared at Lu Hui angrily, but she was still a little puzzled. In the northern sand continent, there were countless fairy-like beauties. Her looks could only be considered average. She did not know why Lu Hui was interested in her. Actually, for beginners, the most important thing was a woman's appearance. And for those with experience, the first thing they would notice was a woman's chest. As for veterans like Qin Feng, the first thing they would notice was a woman's long legs and perky butt. This Lu Hui was obviously a veteran in the field of love. He was more interested in Shuxia's seductive figure. Hee. I've already said what I need to say. Think about it yourself. Lu Hui still pretended to be indifferent. Actually, he had already decided that the woman in front of him would obediently submit to him. But this time, Lu Hui was wrong. Shuxia was different from the women he had slept with before. Although Shuxia really needed golden soul pills now, she had her own bottom line. I was wrong. Don't even think about it. Shuxia glared at Lu Hui coldly and turned to leave. Lu Hui was stunned. He did not expect Shuxia to leave. Have you really thought about it? Don't you want to get the golden soul pill to break through to Holy King level 4? Seeing that Shuxia had already walked to the door, Lu Hui quickly spoke. Shuxia stopped beside Qin Feng. She was a little embarrassed to look at Qin Feng. She did not know if Qin Feng had heard Lu Hui's rude request. When she thought of this, Shuxia felt even more embarrassed. If it's according to your request, I'd rather not break through. Shuxia's attitude was firm. Lu Hui was furious. The woman he wanted to woo had never failed. In his opinion, Shuxia's figure was perfect, but her appearance and background were very ordinary. It was Shuxia's fortune to be fancied by this kind of woman, but she did not appreciate it. Humph! You better think carefully. If you really walk out of this room, don't even think about buying any pills in the treasure pill tower. More than half of the small medicine shops in Pill City will blacklist you. Lu Hui's face was cold. He was actually using his power to oppress Shuxia. Other than coldness, Shuxia's face was more helpless. She was a weak woman in the immortal venerable continent that respected martial arts. The path of cultivation was already difficult. It was fine if no one helped her, but she always met a bastard like Lu Hui who still wanted to suppress and force her. Originally, Shuxia thought that she would have a chance to break through to Saint King level 4 if she won the golden leaf grass. Now she realized how naive her thoughts were. She suddenly felt extremely tired. At this moment, she even had the thought of giving up on cultivation. Young hero Qin, let's go. Zhuo Xiaoya ignored Lu Hui and hurriedly left the treasure pill tower. On the way back, Zhuo Xiaoya lowered her head in disappointment. When they reached the door, she raised her head. Young hero Qin, if you have something important to do, go do it. I'm fine. Qin Feng opened the door and walked in. He directly sat on a stone bench in the middle of the courtyard. With a flip of his hand, a cauldron appeared under his feet. The cauldron was exquisite and beautiful. There were lifelike pictures of birds and beasts carved on it. This was the Heaven and Earth Cauldron from the System's Alchemy Pavilion. Bookmark for easier reading. Chapter 1555. Young hero Qin, what are you doing? Seeing Qin Feng make a pill furnace out of thin air, Zhuo Xiaoya was dumbfounded. Qin Feng said calmly, Give me your golden leaf grass and I can help you refine the golden soul pill. Zhuo Xiaoya's mind went blank and her emotions fell to rock bottom. She didn't expect Qin Feng to suddenly give her hope. However, Zhuo Xiaoya quickly calmed down and looked doubtfully at Qin Feng. She didn't really believe that Qin Feng could refine pills. The main thing was that Qin Feng was too young and the pill refiners in the northern sand continent were all above 30 years old. Moreover, even if Qin Feng was really a pill refiner, he would at most be a low-level one. As for the golden soul pill, Qin Feng definitely couldn't refine it. Young hero Qin, I appreciate your good intentions, but forget it. Zhuo Xiaoya sighed and said. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows. You're afraid that I'll take your golden leaf grass? Zhuo Xiaoya quickly waved her hands. No. Although I haven't known young hero Qin for long, he saved my life. If you really take the golden leaf grass, I have nothing to say. It's just that. Zhuo Xiaoya didn't voice her doubts. She was afraid that Qin Feng would be unhappy. Qin Feng continued. Then you're afraid that after I refine the golden soul pill, I'll be like that beast Lu Hui and make you sleep with me? Zhuo Xiaoya blushed. She realized that Qin Feng had heard Lu Hui's rude request. This made her extremely ashamed. That's not it either, Qin Feng interrupted her. Since it's not those two reasons, then give me the golden leaf grass. I'll give you the golden soul pill in half an hour. Zhuo Xiaoya looked dumbly at Qin Feng's serious expression and realized that he wasn't joking. In the end, Zhuo Xiaoya still gave the golden leaf grass to Qin Feng, but she didn't hold any hope. She treated it as repayment for saving her life. Qin Feng was already refining pills in the courtyard, so Zhuo Xiaoya went straight to the house. She had originally excitedly gone to the treasure pill tower to find someone to refine pills, but now it had become like this. Zhuo Xiaoya was a little tired and fell asleep on the bed. After sleeping for an unknown amount of time, she was woken up by a loud noise outside the courtyard and rushed out. Young hero Qin, what happened? Zhuo Xiaoya shouted before he even stepped out of the door. When he rushed into the courtyard, he was stunned as if he had been struck by lightning. The courtyard was filled with a rich fragrance of pills. Just smelling it was enough to make one feel refreshed. Zhuo Xiaoya was physically and mentally exhausted, but after standing in the courtyard for more than 10 seconds, she felt that her body had reached its peak. Don't worry, big sister you, it's the sound of the pill forming. This is the golden soul pill you wanted. Qin Feng walked over and opened his hand. There were 5 golden soul pills in his palm. That treasure pill pavilion's Lu Hui could only form 2 pills at most in one furnace, but Qin Feng's first golden soul pill produced 6 pills. He kept 1 for himself and gave the other 5 to Zhuo Xiaoya. Zhuo Xiaoya stood rooted to the ground, unable to come back to her senses for a long time. She even suspected that she was dreaming. Qin Feng was amused by her silly look and said with a smile, Elder sister you, I am actually a gold pill master. The golden soul pill is not difficult for me to refine. Qin Feng still had reservations in his words. He was actually a level 3 7th grade pill king. It was not that Qin Feng did not trust Zhuo Xiaoya, but he was afraid that saying the truth would scare this woman silly. However, Zhuo Xiaoya was already scared silly when he said his identity as a gold pill master. She stared at the 5 golden soul pills in Qin Feng's palm with a burning gaze. She did not even dare to reach out to take them. I believe that with these 5 golden soul pills, big sister, you can successfully break through to the 4th level of the Holy King realm. Qin Feng took the initiative to grab Shuxiaoya's hand and gave the pills to her. Shuxiaoya finally came to her senses and looked at Qin Feng with gratitude. Young hero Qin, you saved my life and helped me refine the golden soul pill. I really can't repay this kindness. Now I only have 200,000 high-grade spirit stones left. You must accept them. Qin Feng waved his hand. Let's not talk about this first. Big sister, you, quickly go and break through. I will protect you in the courtyard. Shuxiaoya was stunned again, but she quickly came back to her senses. She had seen Qin Feng's generosity at the Flower City auction. She knew that a mere 200,000 spirit stones was nothing to Qin Feng. Shuxiaoya did not argue with Qin Feng anymore. She took the golden soul pill and went into the house in surprise. Qin Feng was already sitting cross-legged in the courtyard. He had broken through to the 3rd level of the Holy King realm in the ancient martial ruins of the 5 Elements Mountain not long ago. Now, he was going to try to break through to the 4th level of the Holy King realm. Even though the difference between the 3rd level and the 4th level of the Holy King realm was only a small level, the difference in strength was extremely huge. This was because the 4th level of the Holy King realm was the threshold of the intermediate stage of the Holy King realm. It was also a qualitative leap. In order to increase the probability of breaking through, Qin Feng took out the 8 spiritual pearls that he had obtained from the ancient martial ruins and threw them in 8 directions. As the spiritual pearls appeared, a majestic spiritual energy suddenly surged in the courtyard. Qin Feng immediately set up a simple spirit gathering formation. The spiritual energy condensed in the courtyard and the house. It circulated back and forth, but it did not flow out of the courtyard. Shuxiaoya was sitting on the bed and had already swallowed a golden soul pill. She had just started to circulate her qi when she suddenly felt that the surrounding spiritual energy had become denser. This was the first time that Shuxiaoya had felt such dense spiritual energy. She was very puzzled, but in the end, she cast aside all distracting thoughts and absorbed the spiritual energy madly to break through. Time flew. In the blink of an eye, a night had passed. When the first ray of sunlight fell on the courtyard in the morning, a dull sound broke the silence. Rumble! The sound came from Qin Feng's body. He suddenly opened his eyes. His eyes were like the bright stars in the night sky. Qin Feng's aura also underwent a huge change. It became more mysterious and stable, making it difficult for others to understand. Congratulations, Master, on breaking through to the 4th level of the Holy King realm. Little Pig's excited shout came. At this moment, another loud sound came from the house, followed by Shuxiaoya's shout. Qin Feng hurriedly rushed into the house. He was worried that Shuxiaoya's breakthrough would fail and cause her to go berserk. However, when he rushed into the house, he was instantly stunned by the scene in front of him. Shuxiaoya did not fail. From the change in the aura on her body, it could be seen that she had successfully advanced to the 4th level of the Holy King realm. However, because of the gas explosion when she broke through, her clothes were in tatters. They could not even cover her voluptuous body. Qin Feng stared at Shuxiaoya's chest, unable to move his eyes away. He had long realized that this woman's figure was superb. Now that he had seen it for himself, he realized that it was even more alluring than he had imagined. As for Shuxiaoya's shout, it was because she was venting her excitement after breaking through. However, she stopped halfway through her shout. Looking at Qin Feng, whose clothes were also in tatters, standing upright beside the bed, Shuxiaoya wished that she could dig a hole and hide in it. Young hero Qin, what happened to you? Shuxiaoya could not help but glance at Qin Feng's body. Her face and ears turned red from embarrassment when she saw his well-defined muscles. Chapter 1556. Although Shuxiaoya noticed Qin Feng's burning gaze, she realized that she didn't feel too disgusted. Young hero Qin, I am fine. I've already broken through to level 4 Holy King. Thank you very much for helping me refine the Golden Soul Pill. I only used 1 Golden Soul Pill to successfully break through. I'll return the remaining 4 to you. Shuoxiuya suppressed the shyness in her heart and got off the bed. She was by no means a greedy woman. When Qin Feng gave her 5 golden soul pills, she had already planned to return the remaining pills to Qin Feng once she broke through. The golden soul pills' main function was to help level 3 Holy King cultivators advance to level 4 Holy King. Since Shuoxiuya had successfully broken through, the pill wouldn't be of much use to her. Qin Feng didn't argue and accepted the 4 golden soul pills. He could give them to Su Ruoro and the others in the future. After putting away the pills, the atmosphere in the room suddenly became intimate. The two of them were less than half a meter apart, naked and looking at each other. Shuoxiuya's perfect figure fell into Qin Feng's eyes. The curve of her chest rising and falling was shocking. Young hero Qin, you've helped my daughter many times and I can't repay you. If you want it, I won't resist, Shuoxiuya suddenly said. As soon as she finished speaking, her little face was so red that it was about to drip water. Shuoxiuya was definitely not a frivolous woman. This could be seen from the fact that she would rather give up on refining pills than submit to Lu Hui. The reason why she took the initiative at this moment was to repay Qin Feng in this way. Sister Yu, I understand your intentions. However, I, Qin Feng, am not a vile person who takes advantage of others. Seeing Shuoxiuya return to the bed and lie down, Qin Feng finally withdrew his thoughts. Shuoxiuya was slightly stunned. Clearly, she didn't expect Qin Feng to reject her. However, she quickly understood. With young hero Qin's wealth and identity, he must have many beauties around him. Why would he like her? Thinking of this, Shuoxiuya was somewhat disappointed. She shyly went to get clothes to wear. However, just as she was about to get off the bed, she suddenly clutched her abdomen and cried out in pain. Ah, it hurts. Qin Feng hurriedly sat on the bed. He didn't care about their current situation. He held Shuoxiuya's arm and asked, Sister Yu, what's wrong? Shuoxiuya's body was already covered with a layer of cold sweat, which showed that she was really in pain. But even so, the woman still gritted her teeth and said, Young Master Qin, I'm fine. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine in a while. When Qin Feng was in China's secular world, he had learned the 5 elements acupuncture technique. He immediately pressed 2 of his fingers on Shuoxiuya's wrist. After examining it, Qin Feng furrowed his brows. Big Sister Yu, there's something wrong with your cultivation method, causing many hidden dangers and old injuries to exist in your body. Qin Feng had already seen through the situation. Shuoxiuya was still gritting her teeth and enduring the pain. Just as Qin Feng had said, this wasn't the first time this had happened. Shuoxiuya was already used to it. Every time, she would grit her teeth and endure it. Young hero Qin, you actually know how to treat illnesses. You're indeed young and promising. Very early on, in order to speed up my breakthrough, I forcefully cultivated, leaving behind a lingering illness in my body. As a result, every time I made a breakthrough, I would suffer from illness. This is already an old ailment of mine. As long as I get through it, I'll be fine. Don't worry, young hero Qin. Although Shuoxiuya spoke casually, from her trembling body and pale face, it could be seen that she wasn't feeling well. Qin Feng's expression was solemn as he hugged Shuoxiuya and laid down on the bed. This ambiguous action made Shuoxiuya's entire body heat up. Even the pain in her body seemed to have lessened. Big Sister Yu, this isn't a minor illness. Based on your situation, if you drag it on for another year or 2, your body will be crippled, Qin Feng said. Shuoxiuya's expression changed greatly. Of course, she understood what Qin Feng meant by crippled. That meant that the cultivation that she had painstakingly cultivated for 30 years would disappear. Once her cultivation was gone, her body wouldn't be able to withstand the torment of the illness. She could only die of illness in bed. Young hero Qin, is it really that serious? Shuoxiuya asked with a glimmer of hope. Qin Feng nodded with certainty and said, If you believe in my medical skills, I can help you with acupuncture and massage. Because you forcefully cultivated and broke through before, it caused the blood and spirit qi in your meridians to flow uncontrollably. This broke your normal metabolism. After so many years, your body has accumulated too many toxins and illnesses. Qin Feng was afraid that Shuo Xiaoya would misunderstand, so he explained her situation in detail. Shuo Xiaoya's small face was crimson. Naturally, she wouldn't misunderstand Qin Feng. What's more, she took the initiative to give it to Qin Feng before and was rejected. Then I'll have to trouble young hero Qin again. Seeing that Shuo Xiaoya agreed, Qin Feng didn't waste any words. He immediately took out a leather bag and opened it to reveal silver needles of different lengths. Shuo Xiaoya didn't think that Qin Feng would have such a complete set of equipment. Now, she was even more certain that he really did have medical skills. It seemed that his medical skills were very high. Big sister, considering that I have to insert needles into 108 acupuncture points in your body and massage your whole body, you might as well not wear clothes. Although Qin Feng had a serious expression, he felt a bit awkward. He admitted that he admired Shuo Xiaoya's arrogant figure, but the two of them hadn't developed to that step. Shuo Xiaoya's originally rosy face was about to drip water. Her voice was as small as a mosquito's as she said, "And whoosh!" Qin Feng suddenly acted. His speed was as fast as lightning. He held 3 silver needles in his hand and accurately inserted them into 3 acupuncture points on Shuo Xiaoya's back at the same time. When he first met Chan Xian and entered Provincial Capital University, Qin Feng already possessed the 5 elements acupuncture technique. Although it had been a long time since he had used this acupuncture technique, he was still able to perform it smoothly and with the demeanor of a master of acupuncture. Shuo Xiaoya lay face down on the large bed. Her smooth, jade-like back was covered with silver needles. Qin Feng didn't feel any pain when he inserted the needles, but waves of numbness rippled through his body. This caused Shuo Xiaoya to involuntarily moan. "Big sister, I'll start inserting the front." Even though Qin Feng did his best to suppress the evil fire in his stomach, the fire kept jumping around under Shuo Xiaoya's seductive figure and moans. Shuo Xiaoya was even more shy than Qin Feng. She really wanted to control her moans, but they just couldn't come out. Shuo Xiaoya had already sat up. She closed her eyes and didn't dare to look. This made Qin Feng relax a bit. Qin Feng couldn't help but glance at Shuo Xiaoya's chest. He almost reached out to grab it. Qin Feng took a deep breath and calmed himself down again. He used both hands and the silver needles seemed to have eyes. They quickly and accurately landed on the important acupuncture points on Shuo Xiaoya's body. After 10 or so minutes, Qin Feng let out a long breath. He finally finished inserting the silver needles. However, when he thought about how he still had to use the aura massage to help Shuo Xiaoya detoxify, Qin Feng felt that he couldn't take it anymore. "Young hero Qin, are you done?" Shuo Xiaoya felt that there was suddenly no movement. She carefully opened her eyes and saw Qin Feng sitting on the bed with his back facing her. "Big sister, the acupuncture is done. Now I'm going to give you a massage. I need to massage every part of your body. If you have any concerns, then forget it." Qin Feng thought about it and retreated. Just using the silver needles already made his concentration a bit poor. He was really afraid that he would accidentally push Shuo Xiaoya down during the massage. After hearing Qin Feng's words, Shuo Xiaoya's snow-white skin became rosy. She had devoted her entire life to cultivation and had never had a boyfriend, let alone been touched by a man. However, Shuo Xiaoya knew that Qin Feng was treating her illness. Moreover, when she opened her eyes, she saw Qin Feng's back facing her. This was enough to show that Qin Feng was an upright person. Thinking of this, Shuo Xiaoya gritted her teeth and took the initiative to grab Qin Feng's hand. "Young hero Qin, you're a doctor. It's said that doctors don't discriminate between men and women. Why do we have to be so awkward?" Although Shuo Xiaoya spoke magnanimously, her voice was soft and her body was clearly trembling. After she grabbed Qin Feng's hand, she directly pressed it against her chest. Qin Feng's heart trembled. The softness and elasticity surprised him. Young hero Qin, let's begin." Shuo Xiaoya tried her best to restrain herself, but she still couldn't help but cry out. Qin Feng didn't argue anymore and began to help Shuxiaoya with the aura massage. Very quickly, Qin Feng discovered that Shuxiaoya's body was more sensitive than he imagined. Her entire body trembled at the slightest touch, and soon, a large patch of the bed sheets was wet. After half an hour, the aura massage finally ended successfully. The undulating cries in the room also stopped. The two of them were drenched in sweat. They were so tired that they lay on the bed. Shuxiaoya's entire body was weak from being touched, and Qin Feng had been restraining his inner emotions, causing his mental strength to be severely depleted. After the massage, Shuxiaoya was no longer as shy as before. She even strangely hugged Qin Feng's arm, pressed her head against Qin Feng's chest, closed her eyes, and pretended to sleep. Qin Feng pretended that nothing had happened. He also closed his eyes, mainly because he was afraid that if he continued to watch, something would really happen. The two of them lay like this until night time without doing anything. Shuxiaoya got out of bed to make dinner for Qin Feng. She checked her body and was pleasantly surprised to find that the hidden illness in her body was much better. Before, Shuxiaoya would feel that her qi wasn't smooth enough every time, as if it was stuck. This situation was very fatal for a cultivator, especially when fighting with others. Especially when he was fighting with someone, if he couldn't use his qi and attack at the first moment, the outcome could be imagined. Young hero Qin, dinner is ready. Hurry and get up to eat. Shuxiaoya happily ran into the room like a little wife. At this time, she was still naked, but after the acupuncture and massage, Shuxiaoya didn't mind being seen by Qin Feng. Qin Feng couldn't help but sweep his gaze over Shuxiaoya's body again. At the same time, the feeling of elasticity when he was massaging her surfaced in his mind. This scorching gaze made Shuxiaoya's entire body boil. She hurriedly ran out shyly. That's right, young hero Qin, is my illness completely cured? Shuxiaoya asked at the dinner table. Big Sister Yu's illness has accumulated for over 10 years, so it can't be cured in one go. However, I have full confidence that I can cure Big Sister Yu. I still need Big Sister Yu to cooperate with me a few more times with acupuncture and massage. Shuxiaoya's little face was bright red, and she nodded shyly. Chapter 1557. To cure Shuxiaoya's illness, Qin Feng stayed in Pill City for a few days. He stayed at Shuxiaoya's house. The two of them cultivated during the day, and Shuxiaoya would touch him at night. Nothing happened, but no one would believe it. After 3 days of massaging, Shuxiaoya felt her body getting better. Moreover, her attitude towards Qin Feng also became very intimate. Every day, she would think of ways to make delicious food for Qin Feng. She was as obedient and well-behaved as a newlywed wife. On the 4th day, Qin Feng woke up and heard noises in his head. Qin Feng, where are you? Boss! Where did you go? Are you in another pretty girl's bed again? Tell me secretly, and I promise I won't tell the other sisters-in-law. Big brother Qin, something happened! The noises came from the Heroes' Alliance. Qin Feng sat up straight and asked, Ro, what happened? After a moment of silence, Suruo's anxious voice came. Qin Feng, Li Shanshan seems to have entered the Divine Continent as well. We haven't found her yet. Ever since the Divine Continent merged, Qin Feng had been searching for people from China and the Divine Land. He built Heroes City and Celestial Spirits Gate in Luo City to find people. He hoped more people could find him. After 3 months of searching, more than half of the people had met up with Qin Feng, but there were still some who were missing. Now that Li Shanshan had also come to the Divine Continent, Qin Feng became nervous. Isn't Shanshan studying in the provincial capital? Why is she here? Qin Feng asked anxiously. I'm not sure, but a few martial artists from China came to our Saint Medic yesterday. They said they saw Li Shanshan on the way here. Qin Feng realized that Li Shanshan was really here, which made him even more uneasy. Li Shanshan was the daughter of China's medical sage, Li Xingtian. She was captured by the William family in America when she was 18 and brainwashed into becoming an assassin. Now that the William family had been destroyed, Li Shanshan had returned to normal. The girl was 23 years old, but her memory was still the same as before she was 18. She only knew Qin Fen and Li Xingtian. She treated Qin Fen as her boyfriend and was extremely dependent on him. On the other hand, she had come to the Divine Continent alone. Su Ruoro realized that Qin Feng was angry, so she spoke carefully. Qin Feng, don't worry. I'm sure nothing will happen to Shan Shan. Qin Feng forced himself to calm down. He knew Ruoro's words were just to comfort him. No one understood the dangers of the Divine Supreme Continent better than him. Which sect in the Outer Wulin are those who found the sacred medic hall? Since you met Shan Shan on the way, why didn't you bring her to the Saint Medic Hall? Qin Feng questioned. Su Ruoro said, he is a Wudong Pai disciple of the Wulin world. They can't be blamed for this. One of their disciples had seen Li Shanshan once in Huaxia. Now that they're on the Divine Continent, they never thought that the woman was Li Shanshan. They only realized this when they came to the Saint Medic Hall and learned that many people were transported to the Divine Continent. Qin Feng was also anxious. He knew that he couldn't blame the Wu-Tang sect disciples for this. Since things had come to this, Qin Feng didn't want to stay in Pill City any longer. He planned to return to Woyang City first and ask the Wu-Tang sect disciples in detail. Then, he would look for Li Shanshan. After the communication was cut, Qin Feng realized that Shuo Xiaoye had woken up. She leaned against the side of the bed naked and looked at him worriedly. Young hero Qin, did something happen? Qin Feng looked at her perky breasts, but he wasn't in the mood to appreciate them. Big sister you, I have to go. Shuo Xiaoye was shocked. She stood to the side as if she was struck by lightning. She knew that Qin Feng would leave one day, but she didn't expect this day to come so suddenly. The two of them had been cultivating together for the past few days. This made Shuo Xiaoye, who was always alone, feel very warm. She even felt that she had lived the past 30 years in vain. All she knew was to cultivate and endure hardships every day. However, just as she gradually sank into the warmth and happiness that Qin Feng gave her, she realized that this dream was about to be shattered. Ah? All right. These days, because of my treatment, I have wasted young hero Qin's precious time. I feel extremely guilty. After a long time, Shuo Xiaoye finally spoke. Her voice was filled with loneliness. Qin Feng, of course, understood what she was thinking. However, Qin Feng was worried about Li Shanshan, so he didn't have the time to care so much. Big sister you, I'll come to Pill City to find you after I'm done with my business. Your condition has stabilized. I'll treat you a few more times, and I believe that you'll recover completely. Shuo Xiaoye wasn't very surprised. She had been in the Divine Supreme Continent for many years, so she understood the logic of the world. Most of the time, a farewell was a farewell forever. She didn't believe that Qin Feng would really come back to find her. If Qin Feng cared about her even a little, he could take her to the ends of the earth. As long as Qin Feng asked, Shuo Xiaoye would follow him no matter where he went. Young hero Qin, there's no need to say more. Have breakfast before you leave. Shuo Xiaoye got off the bed and went to the kitchen. This breakfast was very sumptuous, but Qin Feng felt that it didn't taste as good as before. After breakfast, Shuo Xiaoye went back to her room and changed into a black robe. This was the first time she wore clothes in the past 3 days. Big sister you. Just as Qin Feng opened his mouth, Shuo Xiaoye interrupted him and said, I'll send you off. I'll leave once we reach Pill City's gate. Qin Feng didn't want her to send him off to avoid the reluctance of parting. However, seeing her determined expression, Qin Feng didn't stop her. The two of them walked side by side, but it was like they were strangers. They didn't talk along the way. Shuo Xiaoye kept her head down and thought about something. Qin Feng was also thinking about something. It was about Li Shanshan. Unknowingly, they arrived at Pill City's gate. Seeing that Qin Feng was about to leave, Shuo Xiaoye's eyes started to tear up. She turned her head to avoid looking at Qin Feng. She felt that this farewell was going to be forever. Why are there so many outsiders in Pill City? Qin Feng looked at the large group of people rushing in and asked. Zhuo Xiaoya rubbed her eyes and said dejectedly, "They're probably here to participate in Pill City's annual Alchemist Test Conference." Qin Feng was a little more energetic. "Alchemist Test Conference? Sister Yu, can you be more specific?" Zhuo Xiaoya nodded. Naturally, she would tell Qin Feng what he wanted to know. "Young hero Qin, Pill City is where the North Sand Region's Elixir Association is located. All the alchemists in the North Sand region have to go through the Elixir Association's test. Then, the Elixir Association will give out the Alchemist level token. Only then will the alchemists be recognized by everyone. Only alchemists with the Elixir Association's token can help others concoct pills or open medicine chains." Qin Feng understood. For alchemists like him who didn't pass the Elixir Association's test, even if he could concoct some king pills and had the status of a level 3 or level 7 elixir king, he wouldn't be recognized by everyone without going through the test. Qin Feng couldn't concoct pills for others in public, and he couldn't open medicine chains. This meant that if he opened a Saint Medic Hall in Luo City, if he wanted to open a branch elsewhere, the Elixir Association would find trouble with him. Qin Feng calmed down from Li Shanshan's matter. Although he was in a hurry to return to Luo City, the Pill City's annual Alchemy Master Test Conference piqued his interest. Actually, Qin Feng had already realized that the North Sand region was so big. Even if he rushed back to Luo City to ask about the Wu-Tang sect disciples, the chances of finding Li Shanshan were slim. He had another plan in mind, which was to quickly spread the fame of the Saint Medic Hall. As long as the Saint Medic Hall was famous enough, Li Shanshan would definitely come looking for him. If he wanted the Saint Medic Hall to become famous in the North Sand region, he had to open a branch. Therefore, Qin Feng had no choice but to participate in this year's Alchemy Master Test Conference. "Young hero Qin, what's wrong?" Zhuo Xiaoya asked when she saw Qin Feng standing in front of the city gate. Qin Feng turned around and pulled Zhuo Xiaoya's hand back the way they came. "Sister Yu, take me to the Elixir Association's test venue. I want to take the test." The two of them rushed to the Elixir Association. On the way, Zhuo Xiaoya was still in a daze. She couldn't believe that Qin Feng wasn't leaving. This made Zhuo Xiaoya feel strangely sweet. "Young hero Qin, this is the Elixir Association." After walking for an unknown amount of time, Zhuo Xiaoya suddenly stopped. She lifted her head to look at an 11-story building and said, "The Elixir Association is a chamber of commerce built by all the elixir workshops in the North Sand region. It manages and unifies the activities of elixir workshops and alchemists in the North Sand region. The Elixir Association has great power and abundant resources. Even 5-star sects and large clans don't dare to offend the Elixir Association." Qin Feng realized the power of the Elixir Association even without Zhuo Xiaoya's explanation. Especially in a cultivation plane like the Divine Continent, the importance of elixirs to cultivators was self-evident. The Elixir Association was formed by the high-ranking members of various elixir workshops. One could imagine how powerful it was. The entrance of the Elixir Association was already surrounded by people. Qin Feng glanced at them. These people all had some special characteristics. They had the fragrance of elixirs in their bodies, and their mental strength was much stronger than ordinary cultivators. These were the characteristics of alchemists. "Sister Yu, there are quite a lot of people participating in the Alchemy Master Test Conference. What are the rules of the test?" Qin Feng asked. Zhuo Xiaoya was one of the most difficult rogue cultivators. She didn't know much about the Elixir Association. However, she quickly found a female alchemist in the crowd and asked about the situation. "Young hero Qin, Alchemist Lin said that the rules don't change every year. The alchemists participating in the test have to use the medicinal ingredients provided by the Elixir Association to refine a specific elixir. Then, based on the quantity, quality, medicinal properties, and many other factors, they will be considered to be qualified. The qualified alchemists will be given the corresponding alchemist rank token. Those who fail will not be given anything." It was obvious that Zhuo Xiaoya was very concerned about Qin Feng. She asked about it in detail. Qin Feng nodded and said, Then, does every alchemist have to start the test with the most basic level 1 elixir? This was the question Qin Feng was most concerned about. He was now a level 3, level 7 elixir king. If he started the test with level 1 elixir, it would waste a lot of time and energy. Shuxiaoya obviously asked about this. She immediately said, "Young hero Qin, don't worry. Alchemist Lin said that the alchemists participating in the test can determine the rank of their elixirs. As long as they pass the test, they will be given the corresponding alchemist rank token." Chapter 1558. Qin Feng understood what Shuxiaoya meant. Some people had the abilities of a Tier 4 elixir refiner, yet they tried to refine a Tier 5 elixir pill. If they failed, they would be disqualified and wouldn't even be able to become a Tier 5 elixir refiner. The rules were cruel, but Qin Feng didn't mind. He had already thought about it. He only needed to pass the Tier 6 golden elixir refiner test. This was because there were very few Tier 7 elixir kings in the northern sand continent. Every single one of them was a mighty figure. If Qin Feng revealed his ability to refine Tier 7 elixir pills at such a young age, he would definitely attract a lot of trouble. There was another reason. In the northern sand continent, as long as one was a Tier 1 golden elixir refiner, they would have the right to create their own medicine workshop. They would also be able to refine elixirs for others and open branches of their own elixir workshops. This was what Qin Feng cared about the most. After waiting for a while, the doors of the Elixir Association opened and a white-haired old man in a black robe walked out. "Everyone, please quieten down. The annual Elixir Master Test hosted by the Northern Sand Continent's Elixir Association is about to begin. Please enter the test venue in an orderly manner. Fighting is not allowed in the Elixir Association. Anyone who breaks this rule will be disqualified." The white-haired old man explained the basic rules of the Elixir Association. The originally noisy venue quietened down. Evidently, everyone respected the old man in front of them. However, Qin Feng didn't know this person. Shuxiaoya was very observant. She whispered into his ear, "Young hero Qin, this is one of the main pill refiners of the Northern Sand Continent's #1 elixir workshop, Square Tower. It is said that Elder Su is already a Tier 3 elixir king. He is a rare elixir refiner in the entire Northern Sand Continent. The elixirs he refines are all of superior quality and are hard to find." After knowing the identity of the old man, Qin Feng sighed. He wasn't sighing at Elder Su's identity. Instead, he was shocked at the esteemed status of an elixir king in the Northern Sand Continent. If Qin Feng was also a Tier 3 elixir king, wouldn't his status be the same as Elder Su? However, Qin Feng wasn't arrogant enough to think that he could really compare to Elder Su. The old man's aura was deep and steady, and his cultivation was unfathomably high. Qin Feng was afraid that he wouldn't be able to withstand a single palm strike from him. Shuxiaoya thought that Qin Feng was shocked by Elder Su's level 3 level 7 pill king ability. She hurriedly encouraged him. "Young hero Qin, you're able to refine golden soul pills at such a young age. This means that you're already a level 3 level 6 golden pill refiner. Elder Su is already over 80 years old. I believe that in the future, young hero Qin will definitely surpass Elder Su in alchemy." If others were to hear this, they would definitely laugh their heads off. Elder Su was one of the few pill kings in the Northern Sand Continent. His attainments in pill concoction were immeasurably high. How could he be surpassed so easily? However, apart from encouraging Qin Feng, Shuxiaoya's words also came from the bottom of her heart. She had an indescribable confidence in Qin Feng. She felt that he would definitely become famous in the Northern Sand region in the future. "Thank you, elder sister Yu, for thinking so highly of me. I will do my best." Qin Feng was modest. He didn't say that he could refine rank 3 rank 7 imperial pills because he was afraid that it would scare Shuxiaoya. However, at this moment, he heard a few cold snorts. "Ha! You want to surpass Elder Su? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself? Who do you think you are? Ha ha! Did I hear wrongly? There's actually someone who dares to say that he can surpass Elder Su in pill concoction? This person is a little too arrogant. Young people don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Why bother with that silly kid? Shuoxia purposely lowered her voice. However, the second half of her sentence still reached the ears of these cultivators. When everyone heard the conversation between Zhuoxiaoye and Qin Feng, they burst into laughter. Qin Feng didn't care about these voices. He knew that his cultivation level was not as high as Elder Su's. However, when it came to pill concoction, he wasn't afraid of that old man. On the other hand, Shuoxiaoye looked anxious. Deep in her eyes there was a deep sense of guilt. She knew that it was her fault for causing trouble for Qin Feng. What right do you have to say that about young hero Qin? What does him targeting Elder Su have to do with you? Shuoxiaoye couldn't help but stand out. It would have been better if she hadn't said anything. Now, the situation became even more heated. In an instant, the crowd gathered around Qin Feng. Some people were bickering with Shuoxiaoye, but there were even more people who didn't know what was going on. It's one thing to target Elder Su, but you just said that kid can surpass Elder Su. What a joke. Yo! Miss, you have a great figure. Do you have a man? Brat, look at you. You haven't even grown your hair yet, and you're here to participate in the pill concoction assessment? Hurry up and go home. Don't embarrass yourself here. To be able to become a pill concoction master, they naturally had more pills than ordinary cultivators. Therefore, their cultivation level was not too low. Each of these people was more arrogant than the last. Shuoxiaoye was so angry that her breast surged. When he saw countless greedy eyes on Shuoxiaoye's body, Qin Feng took a step forward and stood in front of her. My wife said some words of encouragement to me. It's none of your business. If anyone dares to touch my wife again, don't blame me for being rude. Now that Qin Feng had broken through to 4th stage Saint King, his strength had skyrocketed. He was no longer an ant that had just stepped into the divine continent. He finally had the ability to protect himself and others. Shuoxiaoye was also a 4th stage Saint King. Her cultivation level was more stable than Qin Feng's. However, when she looked at Qin Feng's back, which was as tall as a mountain, Shuoxiaoye suddenly felt like she was Roro's little woman. This was the first time she felt this way in her 30 years of life. She cherished it but was afraid of losing it. The crowd was stunned. They stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. They were obviously shocked by his arrogance. In everyone's eyes, Qin Feng was a young boy. Whether it was his pill concoction skills or his cultivation level, he couldn't be that outstanding. However, an ant like him dared to talk to them? Brat, you think you can be rude? Who do you think you are? A strong man in a green robe jumped out and looked at Qin Feng with a playful expression. This person's green robe was embroidered with many herbs. However, Qin Feng didn't know this sect. Shuoxiaoye immediately whispered in his ear, Young hero Qin, thank you for protecting me. You have to be careful of that person. He is a disciple of the 3-star alchemy sect, 100 herbs sect, Tianchong. I heard that he is already a level 4 level 5 spirit alchemist. Qin Feng realized that alchemy sects were also divided into 1 star to 5 stars. There were only 4 5-star alchemy sects in the entire northern Sand continent. They were the 4 most powerful pill shops in Pill City. After knowing Tianchong's pill concoction level, Qin Feng didn't even bother to look at him. However, a few people jumped out. Brother Tianchong, don't look down on others. This little brother might be a level 1 spirit alchemist. As long as you work hard and learn pill concoction, you might even become a level 1 spirit alchemist. Haha, Brother Wanli is right. As seniors, we can't always attack the younger generation. We should give them more encouragement. The people who spoke were 2 men. One was in a white robe and the other was in a green robe. The word Saint was engraved on their chests. Qin Feng had only been in the divine continent for 3 months, so he knew nothing about the sects here. Shuoxiaoye lived in Pill City all year round, so she knew the identities of these people very well. Young hero Qin, that middle-aged man in the white robe is Wanli, a disciple of the 4-star alchemy sect, Wanli. He passed the Level 1 Level 6 Gold Pill Refiner assessment last year. The guy in the green robe with the word Saint engraved on his chest is a disciple of the 4-star alchemy sect, Tenli Mo. He is a Level 6 Level 5 Spirit Pill Refiner. Zhuo Xiaoya patiently introduced them to Qin Feng. She was afraid that Qin Feng would be at a disadvantage if he didn't know their identities. Wanli and Tenli Mo seemed to be speaking up for Qin Feng, but the sarcasm in their words was very obvious. Everyone could tell that they were mocking Qin Feng. Seeing more and more people surrounding Qin Feng, Zhuo Xiaoya was angry and anxious. She didn't act rashly. There were many Saint King realm powerhouses in the crowd, and the entrance of the Pill Association didn't allow people to cause trouble. If they did, they would be disqualified. Zhuo Xiaoya could only suppress her anger and stare coldly at those who bullied Qin Feng. However, Qin Feng didn't care. He had seen many arrogant people like Tian Chong and Wanli on his road of cultivation. If he had to teach them a lesson every time he met them, he would be too busy. The few people mocked Qin Feng for a long time. Seeing that Qin Feng didn't care about them, they lost interest and dispersed. There were some disciples in fancy clothes in the crowd. These people didn't even bother to come and watch the show. They were all disciples of the 4 big pill workshops in Pill City. They didn't want to stand together with the disciples of the other small pill workshops, or even medicine workshops. Not long after the excitement died down, a few screams came from the crowd. It turned out that the Pill Association was officially open. The disciples at the front of the line started to enter. Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya had been waiting in line for more than 10 minutes. They also entered the Pill Association's hall. This was worthy of being the North Sand Region's Pill Association headquarters. The building inside was tall and magnificent, and the venue was spacious. Even though there were thousands of disciples squeezing into the hall, it didn't seem crowded. There was a high platform in the east of the hall, and Elder Su stood on it. He waited for all the participants to enter the hall before saying, "The rules of this year's Alchemist Assessment Conference are the same as last year. If you are participating for the first time, please check the notice board in the southern corner. If you think there are no problems, you can line up and enter the Alchemy Pavilion to begin the assessment." The Alchemy Pavilion is divided into different areas according to the rank of the alchemist. However, considering the limited space, the number of people who can enter each time is strictly limited. Please check the notice board for more details. Elder Su said a few words and entered the Alchemy Pavilion. At this moment, a dozen or so Pill Association guards entered the hall. They stood on both sides of the door like guardians, maintaining order in the hall. Qin Feng swept his eyes over them and discovered that these guards were actually all 5th stage Saint Kings. The crowd ran towards the notice board in the southern corner. The board clearly stated the assessment system and the number of people who could enter. The alchemist assessment is limited to 40 people? That's too little. Everyone was concerned about the number of people who could enter the alchemist assessment. This was because 80% of the disciples who came for the assessment were here for the alchemist assessment. The few spirit alchemists laughed proudly. Ha ha! The number of spirit alchemists who can enter each time is limited to 20 people. However, I'm guessing that there are only 50 to 60 spirit alchemists who came for the assessment. Looks like we won't have to line up for too long. There are 10 slots for Golden Pill Masters. However, I'm afraid that there won't be 10 Golden Pill Masters among all the participating disciples. Chapter 1559. Zhuo Xiaoya came to the notice board and looked at the Golden Pill Master quota. Zhuo Xiaoya was very excited when she saw that there were 10 quotas. She knew that there were very few Golden Pill Masters in the Northern Sand Continent. Although there were thousands of people taking the test, there would not be more than 10 people taking the Golden Pill Master test. Zhuo Xiaoya also knew that Qin Feng was definitely here to take the Golden Pill Master test because he could even concoct level 3 grade 6 Golden Soul pills. The reason why everyone was so concerned about the number of people taking the test was because it concerned the success or failure of the test. For example, only 40 people could take the Pill Master test at one time, but there were thousands of participants. At least 800 of them were here to take the Pill Master test, which meant that there would be 20 tests before everyone could take the test. As a result, many disciples had to wait. However, during this period of waiting, the Pill Association did not allow disciples to do anything, not to mention concoct pills to warm up. The longer they waited, the more depressed the disciples would be. The pills that they could normally concoct might fail due to their abnormal performance. After reading the notice board, someone stood up. "Everyone, I believe many of you already know me. Let me introduce myself. I am the little elder of the 4-star sect, Flower Valley, Zhao Xing. I am now a level 5 Holy King. I am here to take the Pill Master test. I hope that everyone will give me some face and let me be the first to take the test." The first person to stand up was a black-robed old man. His cultivation base was top-notch, but his alchemy skills were only at the beginner level. This couldn't be blamed on Zhao Xing because the Flower Valley wasn't an alchemy sect. It was just an ordinary 4-star sect like the Equal Heaven sect and the Central Plains sect. Zhao Xing's alchemy was also comprehended by himself. It wasn't easy for him to reach the level of a rank 3 first-grade Pill Master. There were many people in the same situation as Zhao Xing. A few more sect or family disciples jumped out. These people did not have anyone to guide them in alchemy. They had to explore by themselves. They had one thing in common, which was that their alchemy skills were average, but their martial arts skills were rather high. Soon, more than 50 people gathered at the entrance of the Pill Refinement Pavilion. These were the disciples who were going to take the Pill Master test. According to the rules, only 40 people could enter at one time. Therefore, these 50 people were arguing about the first batch of people. As for the rest of the disciples, they didn't even have the courage to come over and fight for it, because their strength was too inferior to these 50 people. The competition for a mere Elixir Master exam is so intense? This was Qin Feng's first time participating in the Elixir Association's exam, so he didn't understand the situation at all. Shuoxia hurriedly whispered into his ear, "Young hero Qin, you should be careful with what you say here. Otherwise, you might offend other people. Alchemists are a scarce resource in the Northern Sand Continent, and even the entire Divine Supreme Continent. Even the status of an alchemist is much higher than that of an ordinary cultivator. Most of these elixir masters are disciples of sects or clans. Once they successfully obtain the Elixir Association's Elixir Master Identity Jade token, their entire sect or clan will become more famous." Shuoxiao's words shocked Qin Feng. Could a pill refiner be so useful? However, the problem that Shuoxiao was worried about still happened. Although she purposely lowered her voice when she spoke to Qin Feng, some people still heard her. "Heh! I was wondering who dared to be so arrogant to look down on a pill refiner. Turns out it's you bastards again." Wanli from the Wan clan sneered. The Flower Valley's little elder Zhao Xing, who had squeezed into the group of 50 people, was furious. "Brat, so what if he's a pill refiner? Look at how arrogant you are. What level are you? He can pass the exam as a pill refiner? One look and you can tell he's just a nobody. I've seen too many incompetent and arrogant people like him." The crowd started to attack Qin Feng again. Shuoxiao was so angry that she gritted her teeth. However, there were too many people, so she didn't dare to act rashly. Moreover, the Elixir Association didn't allow fighting. If they really fought, young hero Qin would lose his qualification to take the exam. Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. He didn't care about what everyone said. Or rather, in Qin Feng's eyes, those who said he was an idiot. He was a level 3, level 7 elixir king. A mere pill refiner was nothing to him. Just as the mocking and cursing intensified, a few exclamations came from the crowd. "Look, it's Alchemist Lu from the Treasure Pill Tower. I heard that he successfully obtained the title of a level 2, level 6 golden pill refiner. Now he's standing in the golden pill refiner assessment area. It seems like he's trying to become a level 3, level 6 golden pill refiner. Ah, that's Alchemist Feng Hua from the Elixir Association. He's also a level 2, level 6 golden pill refiner. I've asked him to refine golden sage pills before. The effects are very good. Alchemist Xia from the Immortal Herb faction is here too. He's even more powerful than the two from before. He's already a level 3, level 6 golden pill refiner. I'm afraid he's here to become a level 4, level 6 golden pill refiner. The crowd was so excited by the three people that they even forgot to mock Qin Feng. The three of them were dressed in white robes and looked to be in their 40s. They represented the three major pill workshops in Pill City. Every one of them was famous in Pill City and even the North Sand Continent. At this moment, another person walked in from the outer hall, causing the crowd to cheer even more intensely. Yes, it's Alchemist Su Baizhen from the North Sand Continent's #1 Pill Workshop, Square Tower. It's said that Alchemist Su Baizhen is Elder Su's proudest disciple. He's only 40 years old and has already obtained the title of level 4, level 6 golden pill refiner. If he passes the assessment this year, he'll be a level 5, level 6 golden pill refiner. If he's given another 5 to 8 years, he'll definitely become a new generation Elixir King. A 50-year-old Elixir King, there's only a few people in the North Sand Continent. The man who walked in last was dressed in a red robe and looked like a fiery red. His face was fair and clean. If Qin Feng hadn't heard that he was already in his 40s, he would have thought that he was a 30-year-old young man. Qin Feng had already sized up the four of them. He had seen Lu Hui 4 days ago, so he was directly ignored. As for the other three, although Qin Feng couldn't see through their cultivation, he didn't care about their alchemy standards. Even the most famous Su Baizhen was only a level 4, level 6 golden pill refiner. If they really wanted to compete, Qin Feng felt that it would be more appropriate to let his master, Elder Su, compete. The four of them had been here for a long time, but the atmosphere of intense discussion was still ongoing. However, in the golden pill refiner assessment area, only Su Baizhen and the other three were standing. There were close to 1,000 people gathered in the hall, but no one was here for the golden pill refiner assessment. Sigh. Looks like the path of alchemy still requires the guidance of a famous teacher. Just relying on ancient books to study by oneself won't be as efficient as the disciples of the major pill workshops. Someone sighed. Stop daydreaming. The requirements for the major pill workshops to recruit disciples are extremely strict. If you aren't a genius with exceptional talent in alchemy, they won't even bother to look at you. And this kind of genius is 1 in 100,000. Chapter 1560. Sighs could be heard from the crowd. Everyone looked at Su Baizhen and the other three with envy and jealousy. They thought to themselves that it would be great if they could also be nurtured by the 4 major elixir clinics. Perhaps they would be the focus of attention today. However, all of this was just a fantasy. It was extremely difficult to catch the attention of the 4 great pill workshops. Just as everyone was still discussing Su Baizhen and the other three, a new round of exclamations suddenly came from the crowd. Holy shit! What's that kid doing? Many people followed the gaze of the screaming disciples, and their eyes immediately popped out. Qin Feng, who was mocked and ridiculed by everyone not long ago, actually swaggered into the Golden Core Master assessment area and stood together with Su Baizhen and the other three. Crazy, crazy! That kid is definitely crazy. Haha! This person is really funny. I'm afraid he can't even refine first-grade miraculous pills, but he ran to the Golden Pill Master assessment area. Is he here to be a joke? Humph! Using this kind of method to become the focus of attention, this kid's skin is really thick. Not only did the Elixir Master team notice Qin Feng, but Su Baizhen and the other three also looked at Qin Feng. The 4 of them raised their eyebrows slightly. It was obvious that they did not take the young Qin Feng seriously. There were very few Golden Core Masters in the entire North Sand region, and the youngest one was in his early 40s. Qin Feng looked like he was only in his 20s, and was clearly not someone of great ability. Brat, so it's you! Treasure Pill Pavilion's Lu Hui suddenly jumped out. He still remembered that Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoye had come to find him 3 days ago. At that time, Zhuo Xiaoya had rejected Lu Hui, which made him depressed for 3 days. He originally thought that the woman would definitely come back and beg him to concoct pills for her, but unexpectedly, 3 days had passed and there was no movement at all. After seeing Qin Feng, Lu Hui quickly saw Zhuo Xiaoya. His small eyes narrowed and were filled with coldness, as if he was looking at 2 dead people. Do I know you that well? Don't pretend to know me. Qin Feng had a very bad impression of Lu Hui. She didn't give him any face. Lu Hui almost fainted from anger. He was a dignified second-grade 6th-stage gold pill master of the Treasure Pill Pavilion. How noble was his status. Did he need to pretend to know Qin Feng? Qin Feng should be the one currying favor with him. This is the waiting area for Golden Core Masters. An ad like you should hurry up and leave. Lu Hui couldn't bring up the matter of forcing Zhuo Xiaoya to concoct pills with her body in front of everyone, so she vented her anger on Qin Feng. 3 days ago, Zhuo Xiaoya had been suppressing her anger at Treasure Pill House. Now she shouted at Lu Hui. Alchemist Lu, how do you know young hero Qin isn't going to take the Gold Pill Master test? What right do you have to drive him away? As soon as these words came out, the crowd quietened down. A moment later, a burst of laughter could be heard. Ha ha! So that woman is also a lunatic. She said that stinking brat came to take the Gene and Master test? They really are a perfect couple. If I were them, I would just kill myself. Many of the men who had greeted Zhuo Xiaoya and been rejected earlier began to retaliate. Zhuo Xiaoya's face was as cold as ice when she heard their words. Qin Feng's expression also became cold. He pulled Zhuo Xiaoya to his side to protect her and said to Lu Hui, I'm here to take the Golden Core Master test. What does that have to do with you? Qin Feng's words caused the crowd to cry out in surprise. Lu Hui was a Golden Core Master of Treasure Pill House and had an extraordinary status. Ordinary disciples would try to curry favor with him, but Qin Feng didn't give him any face at all. Lu Hui's old face became ferocious. If it wasn't for the fact that fighting was not allowed in the Elixir Association's hall, he would have taught Qin Feng a lesson. In fact, he really had to thank the Elixir Association for this rule. Otherwise, his strength as a first-realm Holy King wouldn't even be able to withstand the power of one palm from Qin Feng. Since he couldn't fight, Lu Hui planned to continue attacking Qin Feng verbally. Humph! An ant like you wants to take the Golden Core Master test? I think you're just a clown. Qin Feng originally wanted to be a quiet, handsome man and take the Golden Core Master test in a low-key manner. He didn't expect that he would be looked down upon by people along the way. Did they really think he was easy to bully? Qin Feng's temper rose. He looked at Lu Hui coldly and said, You think I can't take the Golden Core Master test? What if I pass? As soon as he said this, another burst of laughter rang out. There were more than 1,000 people present, but apart from Zhuo Xiaoya, no one believed his words. Lu Hui laughed so hard that tears fell down. Ha ha! You can take the Golden Core Master test? Why don't you say that you're actually an Elixir King? Qin Feng pursed his lips and said, You wouldn't believe me even if I said I'm an Elixir King. Lu Hui laughed even louder. She realized that this guy at least had some self-awareness. After laughing for a long time, Lu Hui finally stopped. Kid, why don't we make a bet? Qin Feng agreed without a care. Sure, how do you want to bet? Seeing that Qin Feng agreed, a mischievous smile flashed in Lu Hui's eyes. Didn't you say that you can take the Golden Core Master test? Then let's bet on this. If you can't take the test, you'll kneel and kowtow in front of everyone and worship me as your master. Lu Hui was ruthless. She planned to make Qin Feng completely lose face. Zhuo Xiaoya stomped her feet in anger, but she quickly realized the problem. The person who was going to lose this bet was Lu Hui. However, apart from Zhuo Xiaoya, no one else thought so. When Lu Hui said the bet, 1,000 pairs of eyes stared at Qin Feng with playful expressions. They guessed that Qin Feng definitely wouldn't dare to accept this bet. He might even wet his pants in fear. Okay. What if you lose? To everyone's surprise, Qin Feng actually agreed. The originally noisy hall suddenly became quiet. Everyone's eyes and jaws fell to the ground. Even Lu Hui didn't think that Qin Feng would dare to agree to his bet. After being stunned for a full 5 seconds, Lu Hui suddenly woke up. Ha ha! You still want to win? Do you really think you're a golden core master? Lu Hui laughed again. Qin Feng said without a care. Stop talking nonsense. If you lose, you have to kowtow and worship me as your master. This is very fair. Lu Hui's laughter stopped, and a murderous look appeared in his eyes. Although he knew that he definitely wouldn't lose, he was very unhappy when he heard Qin Feng's words. Okay, then it's settled. I'll wait for you to kneel in front of everyone, Lu Hui said fiercely. A bet was set. The crowd was extremely excited. They felt that it wasn't Qin Feng who was going to fight, but them. Heh! That brat really doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. He dared to bet with Lu Hui. He's clearly going to lose. Even Feng Shi from the Elixir Association was attracted by this bet. He was talking to Xia Xia from the Immortal Grass Gate. Both of them were famous alchemists from the 4 great alchemy workshops. They were originally standing in the Golden Core Master Assessment area and had become the focus of everyone. They didn't expect that Qin Feng would suddenly jump out and steal their limelight. This made both of them feel a little unhappy. He's willing to kowtow and worship him as his master. It's none of our business, Xia Xia said in a sour tone. Feng Shi chuckled and moved closer to Square Tower's Su Baizhen. To be honest, Su Baizhen's status was a level higher than Lu Hui and the other two. Hee hee! Senior brother Su, this year you're going to take the 5th or 6th level Golden Core Master test, right? Junior brother Feng, I wish you success here. Su Baizhen's white robe fluttered in the wind. His face was fair and clean, and he exuded a righteous aura. He wasn't interested in Feng Shi's flattery, and only nodded indifferently. Feng Shi was infuriated, but he didn't dare to show it. He continued to smile and said, Senior brother Su, look at how ridiculous that guy is. He's only in his early 20s and he dares to take the Golden Core Master test. He's simply a clown. Su Baizhen frowned and said coldly, It's his business if he wants to take the Golden Core Master test. Why are you guys yelling here? Moreover, it's not like there haven't been Golden Core Masters in their 20s in the Divine Supreme Continent before. Seeing that Su Baizhen was actually speaking up for Qin Feng, Feng Shi felt even more suffocated. He simply turned around and walked back to his original position. Su Baizhen's gaze fell on Qin Feng. He didn't look down on Qin Feng like the others, but he also felt that Qin Feng was a little too arrogant. Although he said that there had been Golden Core Masters in their 20s in the Divine Supreme Continent, that was in the Eastfield Continent, which had the richest spiritual energy. As for the North Sand Continent having Golden Core Masters in their early 20s, even he didn't believe it. The mockery continued for a long time, but Qin Feng didn't care. At this moment, Elder Su walked out of the Elixir Refinery Pavilion. Everyone immediately quieted down. This year's Pill Refinery Master Test has officially begun. The disciples who have lined up can enter the Elixir Refinery Pavilion to take the test. Elder Su's voice was emotionless, as if it came from 1,000 miles away. After he finished speaking, he glanced at Su Baizhen, who was in the Golden Core test area. Seeing Su Baizhen nod at him to indicate that he was ready, Elder Su relaxed. However, just as Elder Su was about to leave, his body suddenly stopped, and he looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Who is this person? Elder Su asked. Without waiting for Qin Feng to speak, Su Baizhen answered, Master, this is also a disciple who is participating in the Golden Core test. Even Elder Su was stunned, but he quickly shook his head and left. Clearly, he didn't believe that Qin Feng could pass the Golden Core test. Seeing that Elder Su didn't think Qin Feng would pass, the disciples looked at Qin Feng with even more contempt. As for Lu Hui, she was so proud that she was about to ascend to the heavens. When she walked into the Elixir Refinery Pavilion, she even smiled at Qin Feng and said, Kid, don't be in a hurry to leave after you fail. I still want you to kneel down and worship me as your master. Qin Feng didn't even look at Lu Hui and had already walked into the elixir refinery pavilion. Zhuo Xiaoye glared at Lu Hui angrily, and she almost rushed up to give him a kick. Because the process of refining a grade 6 golden core was very complicated, Su Baizhen and the other three had brought along their followers. Qin Feng didn't need help, but he brought Zhuo Xiaoye with him, mainly because he was afraid that leaving Zhuo Xiaoye alone in the hall would be dangerous. This was Zhuo Xiaoye's first time in the Elixir Association's Elixir Refinery Pavilion area. As soon as she entered, she was shocked by the extravagance and grandeur of the place. The Elixir Refinery Pavilion area was very big, and it seemed to be boundless. However, the empty space was separated into countless Elixir Refinery compartments using a space array. Each compartment was equipped with a cauldron and many small tools needed for refining elixirs. The Elixir Refinery test is in Zone 1, the Spirit Alchemist test is in Zone 2, and the Golden Core Master test is in Zone 3. Chapter 1561. The 40 disciples who took the Miracle Pill Master test went to Area 1, the 20 disciples went to the Spirit Pill Master test area, and Qin Feng went to Area 3. He found that the cubicles here were much larger than the other two areas, and the facilities inside were more complete and of a higher grade. At the same time, Qin Feng also discovered a problem. In reality, the Alchemy Pavilion was large enough to accommodate 1,000 people concocting pills at the same time. However, the Elixir Association limited the number of people who could enter the Elixir Association each time. This was in consideration of the spiritual energy density in the Elixir Refinery Pavilion. One had to know that the process of core formation required a large amount of spirit qi, especially the condensation of a 6th-grade golden core, which consumed a lot of spirit qi. Now that 70 people were refining pills at the same time, it just happened to meet the requirement of spirit qi. That disciple, are you in the wrong area? Qin Fen had just brought Zhuo Xiaoye into a spatial formation when they heard an old man shouting from the judging panel. The old man had a head of gray hair and was wearing Treasure Pill Pavilion's uniform. He was one of the Treasure Pill Pavilion's pill masters, Lu Yunqing, a Tier 1 Tier 7 pill king. When they realized that pill king Lu Yunqing was talking to Qin Feng, a hint of playfulness appeared on everyone's faces. They were waiting to see how Qin Feng would make a fool of himself. Senior, I didn't come to the wrong place. I'm here to take the Golden Core Master test. Qin Feng cupped his fists at Lu Yunqing. Unexpectedly, Lu Yunqing's face was ice cold as he reprimanded him mercilessly. Humph! You look to be in your early 20s, yet you dare to come and take the Golden Core Master examination? It's a waste of our Elixir Association's assessment resources. Since Lu Yunqing was a judge, Qin Feng was a bit more respectful towards him. However, after seeing Lu Yunqing's attitude, Qin Feng's expression turned cold. At this time, Zhuo Xiaoye quickly introduced Lu Yunqing in his ear. Young hero Qin, this is Treasure Pill Pavilion's master alchemist Lu Yunqing. You'd better not have any conflict with him. Qin Feng's expression became even colder. He had always had a bad impression of the Treasure Elixir Tower. The Elixir Association's test doesn't limit the level of the disciples who will take the test. What's wrong with me taking the test as a Gold Elixir Master? This question stumped Lu Yunqing. In front of the Elixir Association's rules, he really couldn't do anything to Qin Feng. However, how could Lu Yunqing let Qin Feng off so easily after being humiliated by a brat in front of the other elders? Humph! There had never been a 20-year-old Jinan master in the entire North Sand region. Do you think you can do it? Although the Elixir Association doesn't limit the level of the participants' assessment, you obviously can't pass the assessment, but you still wasted the assessment materials. Do you know how precious the materials for refining a 6th-grade gold pill are? Every year, the Elixir Association would provide the medicinal ingredients for the alchemist assessment, and the examinees would be assigned to refine a certain kind of elixir. Right now, Lu Yunqing was taking advantage of this to suppress Qin Feng. Most people would definitely back off after finding out about Lu Yunqing's identity. Otherwise, they would not be able to survive in Pill City in the future, nor would they be able to buy pills from all of the Northern Sand region's branches. However, Qin Feng would not back down. Today, he had to obtain the Gold Core Master Identity Token. Don't talk nonsense. I will participate in the test according to the rules of the Elixir Association. You don't have the right to chase me away. These words made Lu Yunqing choke again. He coldly glared at Qin Feng for a long time, but in the end, he didn't say anything. Lu Yunqing snorted coldly and sat back down angrily. Apart from Elder Su, there were 2 other people on the judging panel. They were the head alchemists of the Elixir Association and the Immortal Grass faction. These 4 judges were all Elixir Kings. When they saw Lu Yunqing being humiliated, the other 3 acted as if they didn't see it. From this, it could be seen that the relationship between these 4 people was not very good. After all, they were from different pill shops. The other 3 judges did not stop Qin Feng from taking the test. Qin Feng had already sat down in a spatial array. He was not in a hurry to refine pills. Instead, he studied the spatial array. Apart from being able to refine pills, Qin Feng also knew about arrays and smithing. Very soon, he understood that this spatial array not only divided the venue into different compartments, but it also had the function of silencing and defense. This was because refining pills would cause a huge commotion. Especially when the pills were formed, it could even cause an explosion. This spatial array could block the spread of the airflow and prevent unnecessary injuries. Young hero Qin, if there's anything I can do for my daughter, just let me know. Shuo Xiaoya looked at Qin Feng anxiously. It was as if she was the one participating in the assessment. Qin Feng smiled and said, Sister Yu, you don't have to do anything. Just quietly watch me refine pills. I didn't ask you to come in to help. I'm afraid that the people outside have ulterior motives. Shuo Xiaoya was stunned. She finally understood Qin Feng's intentions. At this moment, Shuo Xiaoya's heart was filled with warmth. She had experienced many things in the past 30 years and faced everything alone. Now that she was protected and taken care of by Qin Feng multiple times, her frozen heart was about to melt. When everyone was in position, Lu Yunqing stood up again. He first secretly glared at Qin Feng before sweeping his gaze across the 3 assessment disciples in the 3 zones. Now, I will distribute everyone's exam questions. Miracle Pill Master Assessment disciples will refine different miracle pills according to the odd or even number of your seat. Odd number of candidates will refine the Mystic Clarity Pill, and even number of candidates will refine the Blood Qi Pill. Spirit Pill Master Assessment disciples. After Lu Yunqing finished distributing the exam questions in Zone 1 and 2, his gaze fell on Zone 3. In the spacious examination hall, there were only Qin Feng and the other 4 candidates, and their helpers. Su Baizhen, your exam question is to refine the Cloud Transformation Pill. Feng Shi, your exam question is to refine the Bone Cleansing Pill. Lu Hui, refine the Golden Soul Pill. Qin Feng understood the few types of Golden Soul pills that Lu Yunqing mentioned. The Cloud Transformation Pill that Su Baizhen wanted to refine was a Level 5 Level 6 Golden Pill. Its main effect was to condense the qi in one's body and even expand one's dantian. The Bone Cleansing Pill that Fenghua Stone wanted to refine was a Level 2 Level 6 Golden Pill. Its main effect was to cleanse one's marrow and strengthen one's body for future breakthroughs. Among the 4 of them, the Golden Soul Pill that Lu Hui wanted to refine was the simplest. It was one of the easiest elixirs to refine among Level 3 Level 6 Golden Pills. It was obvious that Lu Yunqing wanted to let Lu Hui through the back door. After reading out the 4 exam questions, Lu Yunqing paused and looked at Qin Feng with a playful expression. Qin Feng, you actually dared to take the assessment for Level 3 Level 6 Golden Pill Master? Then refine a Cauldron of Consciousness Pill. Upon hearing Qin Feng's exam question, the expressions of Su Baizhen and the other 3 changed. The Consciousness Pill was a type of elixir that strengthened one's divine sense. A strong divine sense could increase the level of elixir refinement, and even allow one to have an epiphany and break through one's cultivation. However, the refinement process of the Consciousness Pill was extremely complicated. It was originally a Level 3 Level 6 Golden Pill, but it had reached the level of a Level 4 Level 6 Golden Pill. Therefore, When Lu Yunqing arranged the exam questions for Qin Feng, no one present believed that he could successfully refine it. Ha ha! Qin Feng, I'm waiting for you to kowtow and acknowledge me as your master. The person who was the most pleased with himself was Lu Hui. He deliberately chose the cubicle on Qin Feng's left and was smirking at Qin Feng. Although every cubicle was separated by a space array and no sound could be heard, Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya knew what Lu Hui was saying. From the shape of Lu Hui's mouth, Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya knew what he was saying. I'm also looking forward to you kneeling and acknowledging me as your master. But don't worry. After you kowtow, I will refuse to accept you as my disciple. I, Qin Feng, will not have a stupid disciple like you. Qin Feng did not show any weakness and replied with his mouth. Lu Hui clearly understood and was so angry that he almost rushed forward to fight. However, he quickly calmed down. When he thought that Qin Feng was going to refine the consciousness pill, Lu Hui was full of confidence. Humph! Even with my current level of alchemy, I can't refine the consciousness pill. Let's see how you're going to do it. Lu Hui muttered as he began to refine the pill. Flames were already rising. Rumble! At the same time, dozens of flames appeared in the huge alchemy pavilion. The colors of the flames were different, and the intensity of the flames varied greatly. It was Zhuo Xiaoya's first time seeing an alchemy process, and she was instantly interested. Wow! Alchemist Lu actually has a type of beast fire. I remember that he used an internal fire last year. Looks like this time, Alchemist Lu will definitely advance to become a rank 3, rank 6 golden pill master. The alchemy process had just begun. Everyone was not in a hurry to throw the ingredients into the furnace. Instead, they looked around. To an alchemist, the alchemy fire was an extremely important factor. In the divine continent, fire seeds were divided into 5 categories. From low to high, they were natural fire seed, internal fire seed, beast fire seed, earth fire seed, and sky fire seed. Internal fire seed was the fire transformed from a cultivator's own aura. Beast fire seed was the fire released by some spiritual beasts, demon beasts, and spirit beasts. As for earth fire and sky fire, they were unusual fires of heaven and earth, and were extremely rare. Many people looked in Lu Hui's direction. There was a pale yellow flame dancing on his palm. It looked like the flame of a fire beast. Lu Hui naturally knew that many people were staring at him. He was very pleased with himself. He even deliberately used his qi to strengthen the beast fire seed and performed a few tricks around him. After that, he glanced at Qin Feng as if he was showing off. Everyone, look! Alchemist Feng is also using a beast fire. Alchemist Xia from Immortal Grass faction is also using a beast fire. Everyone exclaimed. However, under the effect of the spatial formation, no one could hear their voices. They could only see their mouths wide open in shock. In the next moment, the 60 disciples in Section 1 and Section 2 were in an uproar. Everyone's eyes fell on Su Baijian's cubicle. There was a black flame burning in his hand. The flame was mysterious and mystical, as if it had swallowed all the light in the surroundings. What kind of fire seed is Senior Su Baijian using? I've never seen it before. Although it's separated by space, I can still feel the power and ferocity of the black fire seed. It's obviously not a beast fire. Could it be an unusual fire of heaven and earth? At the mention of unusual fires of heaven and earth, the crowd could not remain calm. It was said that in the divine continent, there were 58 types of earth fire, 28 types of sky fire, and a total of 86 kinds of unusual fires of heaven and earth. These fires coexisted with heaven and earth. Each of them was an extremely powerful existence. If an alchemist could subdue one of these unusual fires, their alchemy skills and combat power would increase by several times. That's the 58th ranked Black Lotus of Earth Fire. Chapter 1562. It's the Earth Fire Black Lotus. That's a legendary heavenly flame. Last year, Senior Su Baijian used a beast fire. Now that he has the Earth Fire Black Lotus, He should be able to become a level 5 or level 6 golden pill refiner this year. I'm so envious. I want to have a heavenly flame too. Although the earth fire Black Lotus was one of the weakest flames, it still made the crowd excited. After all, there were only 86 types of heavenly flames in the entire Divine Continent, and most of them were in the Eastfield Continent. No one knew how many there were in the North Sand Continent. However, there shouldn't be too many. The North Sand Continent had the thinnest spiritual energy in the entire Divine Continent. Even the judges' eyes lit up as they stared at the Black Lotus in Su Baijian's hand for a long time. TSK. I didn't expect Su Baijian to have his own earth fire at the age of 30. Congratulations, Elder Su. Lu Yunqing pretended to congratulate Elder Su. Elder Feng from the Spiritual Elixir Association said, Elder Su, you gave this Black Lotus to Su Baijian, right? The three of them looked at Elder Su. They didn't believe that Su Baijian could subdue an earth fire. Although Su Baijian was one of the top geniuses in the North Sand Continent in alchemy, he was still young and his cultivation realm wasn't high. How could he subdue such a ferocious heavenly flame? Elder Su didn't hide it. He stroked his white beard and laughed. Ha ha! That's right, I found the Black Lotus by accident in the Black Lotus Valley half a year ago. I have an earth fire myself, so I gave it to my beloved disciple. Lu Yunqing and the other two were filled with envy. Heavenly flames were hard to find. It was impossible to find one without great luck. Even Lu Yunqing and the other two used beast fires. They didn't expect Elder Su to be so lucky to have found 2 types of earth fires in his life and successfully subdue them. Lu Yunqing and the other two felt upset as they looked at the dancing black flame on Su Baijian's palm. The Square Tower was the #1 alchemy workshop in the North Sand Continent. Now that Su Baijian had obtained an earth fire, the Square Tower's alchemy skills would improve greatly. The alchemy pavilion was in an uproar for a long time. The crowd gradually calmed down as they remembered that they were here to participate in the Alchemy Master Assessment. Everyone recollected their thoughts and began to refine their own pills. But not long after, someone cried out in alarm again. Holy shit! Then, what kind of fire seed did that kid use? Why do I feel that it's even more powerful than True White Void's Black Lotus? The inner core is purple, and the outer flame is white. This is the purple serene flame, ranked 5th among the heavenly flames. It really is the violet flame. Are my eyes deceiving me? More and more people stopped what they were doing and looked in Qin Feng's direction in disbelief. At this moment, Qin Feng had just lit up the furnace. On his palm, a ball of purple flame burned faintly. It was as mysterious and tranquil as a ghost with a mind of its own. The others could see the purple flame through the spatial formation, but Zhuo Xiaoya was sitting next to Qin Feng, less than 2 meters away from the purple flame. Zhuo Xiaoya could feel the incomparably scorching heat and ferocity of the flames. Although they were currently jumping slowly in Qin Feng's palm like an obedient child, Zhuo Xiaoya knew that as long as Qin Feng activated the power of the flames, even a 4th-level Saint King like her would find it difficult to escape. Young hero Qin, what kind of fire seed is this? Zhuo Xiaoya was amazed by Su Baijian's Black Lotus. Now, she realized that Qin Feng's fire seed was even more powerful than Su Baijian's. Qin Feng was a little puzzled when he saw everyone's shocked reaction. He had taken out the purple cloud immortal fire because he had obtained it from Poison Sun City in the Divine Great Land. According to Little Pig, the purple cloud immortal fire was a type of heavenly fire. However, since it was a fire seed from the Divine Great Land, Qin Feng felt that it was nothing in the divine world. However, based on the current situation, it didn't seem that simple. Little Pig, what rank is the purple cloud immortal fire in the divine world? Qin Feng hurriedly asked. Little Pig still looked like a stupid pig. It said in a trembling voice, Master, you're finished. You actually took out the purple cloud immortal fire in front of everyone. You'll attract countless people to kill you. Qin Feng realized the severity of the situation, but he had already shown the purple cloud immortal fire. It was too late to take it back. Little Pig continued, There are 28 heavenly fires in the divine world, and the purple cloud immortal fire is ranked 5th. However, in the divine world, the purple cloud immortal fire is called the violet flame. It's definitely one of the fire seeds that can make cultivators go crazy. After listening to Little Pig's explanation, Qin Feng's face darkened. He didn't expect a fire seed from the divine great land to be so powerful in the divine world. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken out the violet flame even if he was beaten to death. However, it was too late to say anything now. Qin Feng could only calm himself down and pretend that nothing had happened. However, they couldn't pretend that they didn't see anything. Young hero Qin, they said that your fire seed is the violet flame, ranked 5th among the heavenly fires? Shuoxiaoya was shocked. Qin Feng nodded helplessly. This time, Shuoxiaoya jumped in fright. Oh no! Young hero Qin, how could you take out the violet flame during the alchemist assessment? You'll be killed if you do that. Shuoxiaoya was a woman who had wandered the world for more than 30 years. She could see the hidden danger behind the fire seed at a glance. Qin Feng had already thought of this. He could only comfort Shuoxiaoya. Sister, you don't worry. Since I've taken out the fire seed, there's no point in saying anything now. Let me refine the pill in peace. Hearing Qin Feng's words, Shuoxiaoya could only suppress the shock and apprehension in her heart. She sat quietly at the side and didn't say anything else. Qin Feng ignored the people who were still discussing and focused on concocting the pill. The alchemists in Area 1 and 2 couldn't calm down at all. They stared at Qin Feng's violet flame intently. The desire and greed in their eyes became more intense. Even Su Baizhen and the other 3 in Area 3 were in a mess. That kid actually has a heavenly fire? And it's the violet flame that's ranked 5th. Spiritual Pill Association's Feng Huasher's mouth was so wide open that 2 duck eggs could be stuffed inside. Immortal Grass Gates Xiao Xiao muttered to himself. Who the hell is this guy? He can actually obtain a heavenly fire at such a young age. He's definitely not as simple as he looks. Su Baizhen's expression was slightly better than the other 3, but he couldn't hide the shock in the depths of his eyes. The black lotus in his hand was given to him by his master, Elder Su. He didn't expect Qin Feng to have a heavenly fire at such a young age. If Su Baizhen and the other 2 were envious and shocked, then Lu Hui was filled with anger and jealousy. When he saw Qin Feng take out the violet flame, he was so shocked that his eyeballs fell to the ground. He even rubbed his eyes more than 10 times. When he opened his eyes again, he realized that it wasn't an illusion. Qin Feng really had a heavenly fire. Elder Su, is that young guy really using the violet flame? At the judging panel, the 4 old men couldn't stay calm either. 3 of them looked at Elder Su. They knew that Elder Su had the deepest understanding of heavenly fires. Elder Su stared at the dancing purple flame in Qin Feng's palm. A hint of shock appeared on his calm face. After a long time, he said, That's right. That's undoubtedly the violet flame. As soon as he said that, a ball of fire rose in Lu Yunqing and the other 2's hearts. They were so excited that their faces turned red. They couldn't wait to rush up and capture Qin Feng to force him to hand over the violet flame in his hand. However, this was the Elixir Association's assessment venue. No matter how much everyone wanted the violet flame, they had to pretend that nothing happened. However, the eyes of the 4 of them became unfocused. No one knew what they were planning. The consciousness accumulation pill was much more difficult to refine than a level 3 or level 6 golden pill. However, Qin Feng didn't think it was a problem at all. Moreover, he used the violet flame to refine the pill. Thus, the refining process was even smoother. The shocked disciples finally came to their senses. When they saw that Qin Feng's pill furnace was filled with more than half of the ingredients, everyone started to refine their own pills. Dozens of flames burned fiercely in different compartments. Although there was a space formation to block out the sound, Shuoxiaoya could almost hear the sound of the flames burning when she looked at the other areas. As expected, Qin Feng didn't ask Shuoxiaoya for help. He controlled the intensity of the violet flame with one hand and the amount and timing of the ingredients with the other. In just a short 10 minutes, the ingredients in Qin Feng's pill furnace were purified for the first time. Purifying the ingredients was the first step in refining pills. It was also an important step in determining the quality of the pills. After purifying the ingredients, the essence of the herbs could be left in the pill furnace, while the residue and unwanted substances flowed out through the hole at the bottom of the pill furnace. Moreover, the process of refining pills didn't just require one purification. Many times, it required 2 or 3 purification. That was to extract the essence from the ingredients. This way, the medicinal effects of the condensed pills would be maximized. The process of refining the consciousness accumulation pill was even more complicated. It required at least 5 purification attempts to successfully condense the pills. The more purification attempts, the greater the challenge to the alchemist's spiritual power. However, this wasn't a problem for Qin Feng. He had bought elementary spiritual potions from the system a long time ago. Moreover, after cultivating the creation chapter, his spiritual power was incomparably powerful. Rumble. Half an hour later, a loud noise suddenly came from the pill furnace in front of Qin Feng, giving Zhuo Xiaoya a fright. Young hero Qin, what's going on? Zhuo Xiaoya looked at Qin Feng worriedly. She had already realized that Qin Feng had failed. This was because a 6th-grade golden pill was extremely difficult to refine. Even the famous alchemists of the 4 major pill workshops had to spend a few hours to produce pills. Now that Qin Feng had only used half an hour, it was impossible for him to condense the consciousness accumulation pill. Young hero Qin, don't be too sad. You didn't pass the test this year, but you can try again next year. Chapter 1563. Zhuo Xiaoya still did not believe Qin Feng's words. In the entire northern sand region, she had never heard of any alchemist who could refine a 6th-grade golden pill within half an hour. She even suspected that Qin Feng was pretending to be relaxed to comfort her. However, looking at Qin Feng's serious expression, he did not look like he was joking. There was a huge commotion when the consciousness pill was formed. However, the space formation blocked the sound and it did not spread out. However, very soon, someone noticed the commotion at Qin Feng's side. As Qin Feng's purple flame was too eye-catching, many examinees would glance at him from time to time. Damn! That kid formed the pill? How did he do it so fast? Didn't this guy refine the 6th-grade consciousness pill? He definitely can't produce the pill within half an hour. He failed. I already said that kid is here to make up the numbers. How could he refine a 6th-grade golden pill? Sighed, the purple flame is such a waste in his hands. Due to Qin Feng's success, many people started to mutter again. However, none of the 70 people present thought that Qin Feng would succeed. They all thought that he had failed. Lu Hui, who was sitting in the cubicle next to Qin Feng, stopped what she was doing and said to him coldly, "Humph! You've already lost. Later, don't forget to kowtow and acknowledge me as your master." Halfway through her words, Lu Hui's burning gaze landed on the purple flame in Qin Feng's palm. "However, I can give you a chance. As long as you give me the purple flame, we can forget about our bet." Lu Hui seemed to be talking to herself because Qin Feng did not care about her at all. Qin Feng minded his own business and put the 6 knowledge accumulation pills into the jade bottle. He also secretly took out 2 pills, one for himself and the other for Zhuo Xiaoya. According to the rules of the Elixir Association, all the pills refined during the assessment belonged to the Elixir Association. No one would object to this. After all the ingredients, including the pill furnace and venue, were provided by the Elixir Association. When Zhuo Xiaoya held the consciousness pill in her hand, she finally realized that Qin Feng was not lying. He had actually successfully refined the consciousness pill. Zhuo Xiaoya was not an alchemist, and she did not know how many consciousness pills would be produced from a cauldron. However, she roughly understood that the success rate of refining a 6th-grade gold pill was not high. An alchemist like Lu Hui could only refine 2 golden soul pills at a time. The consciousness accumulation pill was harder to refine than the golden soul pill, but Qin Feng was able to refine 6 in one go. His alchemy ability could be imagined. However, when Zhuo Xiaoya's gaze landed on the essence pill in her hand, she was amazed again. The medicinal fragrance of the pill in his hand was overflowing. The pill was round and smooth, and there was a faint white luster on the surface. It was like a pill with spiritual nature. In any case, Zhuo Xiaoya was a golden core cultivator. She could tell that the consciousness accumulation pill that Qin Feng had refined was of high quality. Young hero Qin, this pill is too precious. I can't take it. Zhuo Xiaoya quickly wanted to return the elixir. A high-grade golden elixir could be said to be priceless. Qin Feng did not take back the elixir. He said quickly, Elder sister, you don't be polite with me. Quickly store the profound consciousness elixir. If the people from the Elixir Association see it, they will have it all. Zhuo Xiaoya was taken aback, but when she came back to her senses, she didn't argue anymore. Just as Qin Feng said, if she did not accept it, she would have given it to the Elixir Association for nothing. After Qin Feng finished refining the elixir, he leisurely sat on the stone chair and chatted with Zhuo Xiaoya. The other disciples looked at him from time to time. When they saw that Qin Feng planned to give up after one failed refining, they felt disdain in their hearts. Humph! With your level of alchemy, you have the nerve to come out and make a fool of yourself. How embarrassing! Lu Hui, who was in the next room, took the initiative to find trouble. Qin Feng glanced at him and saw that a layer of mist floated out of the guy's elixir furnace. This was a sign that he was about to form his elixir. No wonder Lu Hui started to jump again. It turned out that he was about to refine the Golden Soul Pill. Once the Golden Soul Pill was refined, not only would he successfully advance to become a Class 3, Class 6 Golden Core Master, but he would also win the bet with Qin Feng. Even if Zhuo Xiaoya did not know alchemy, she could see that Lu Hui was about to produce the elixir. This made her anxious. She did not want to see Qin Feng take that bastard as his master. Young hero Qin, that bastard is also about to form his elixir. Qin Feng naturally understood Zhuo Xiaoya's thoughts. He only gave her a reassuring look, and did not say anything. However, Qin Feng was already busy in the dark. He was not only an alchemist, but he also had a lot of research on formations. The cubicles in the alchemy pavilion were separated by a spatial formation, and this kind of spatial formation was not complicated. Although it blocked the transmission of sound and medium, as long as a few new formations were added to the formation, this situation could be resolved. A few formation flags appeared in Qin Feng's hands. He was setting up a simple wall-passing formation under the elixir furnace. As long as the wall-passing formation was set up, he could secretly disturb Lu Hui's room. Young hero Qin, what are you doing? Zhuo Xiaoya opened her beautiful eyes wide and looked at him curiously. Qin Feng hurriedly said, Sister Yu, can you do me a favor? Zhuo Xiaoya nodded without thinking. Tell me, I'll definitely help. Qin Feng explained his plan. I want to set up a formation to destroy Lu Hui's space formation and make him fail to form his elixir. However, everyone around me is looking at me. I need you to cooperate with me and act out an ambiguous scene to draw everyone's attention elsewhere. Zhuo Xiaoya immediately understood, and her face blushed. At the same time, she was shocked. Not only did Qin Feng know alchemy, but he also knew how to set up formations. Okay, young hero Qin, just do what you want. Zhuo Xiaoya did not hesitate for too long. She had already been honest with Qin Feng and was massaged by him every night, so she did not feel anything. As soon as she agreed, she felt a pair of strong arms pull her into an embrace. The familiar manly smell on Qin Feng's body made her breath quicken, and even the skin on her neck turned red. Ah! Young hero Qin! Zhuo Xiaoya screamed. She found that Qin Feng had put his hand into her collar and felt around. Qin Feng had already stopped. Sister Yu, was I too rash? How about we forget it? Zhuo Xiaoya did not expect Qin Feng to play so ambiguously. He immediately attacked her chest. However, she quickly calmed down, bit her lip, and said, And nothing, it's just very comfortable. Young hero Qin, continue touching. In order to not cause Qin Feng any psychological burden, Zhuo Xiaoya pretended to enjoy it. Her face was as red as a big apple, her eyes were like silk, and her sensitive body was boiling hot. Even Qin Feng could not remain calm. Then I'll trouble Sister Yu. Since it had already begun, Qin Feng was no longer pretentious. His large hands grabbed without restraint. Although Qin Feng had already touched her whole body a few nights ago, that was to treat an illness. Now that he was so crazy in front of everyone, Zhuo Xiaoya felt like she was about to melt. Young hero Qin, why you're so amazing! Zhuo Xiaoya cried out again and again. In order to avoid Qin Feng's psychological burden, she would praise him every time she couldn't help but cry out. However, her words were so messy that Qin Feng almost wanted to raise his spear and fight. Fuck! What's going on over there? Fuck, that brat really has good luck with women. Although that woman's looks are average, her body is definitely hot. How did she fall for that kind of trash? Humph. He's still in the mood to pick up girls after failing to concoct pills. Let's see how he kowtows to his master later. I don't know how that guy got the purple serene flame, the heavens are so unfair. Not long after, many people noticed the flirtatious wildness on Qin Feng's side. Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya were already hugging, kissing, and touching. They were just short of stripping off their clothes and starting a fight. That crazy scene even aroused the evil fire in many people, and they even lost the mood to concoct pills. Lu Hui was in the compartment next to Qin Feng and saw everything very clearly. He had his eyes on Zhuo Xiaoya's hot body for a long time, but he didn't expect this woman to reject him messing around with trash like Qin Feng. This scene made him choke with anger. However, Lu Hui's small eyes couldn't help but glance at Zhuo Xiaoya's body. He even imagined Qin Feng to be himself. When he saw Qin Feng put his hand under Zhuo Xiaoya's skirt, Lu Hui almost cried out. Corrupting public morals, what a scum! The 4 judges on the rostrum also saw this scene, and Lu Yunqing immediately jumped up and scolded Qin Feng. As for Elder Su, he sat calmly on the stone chair. After all, the Elixir Association didn't stipulate that pill refiners couldn't flirt, so he simply pretended not to see it. The 2 main pill refiners of the Elixir Association and Immortal Herb faction also pretended not to see it, but they were different from Elder Su. Elder Su really didn't look, but the 2 of them secretly peeked at Zhuo Xiaoya's exposed long legs and some of the white skin on her chest. Qin Feng was about to turn his act into reality. He sighed inwardly at Sister Yu's alluring body. However, he quickly calmed down, and the other hand hidden under the pill furnace quickly formed a few hand seals. Buzz! A strange energy wave suddenly rippled. Other than Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoya, no one else felt this subtle change. However, although Zhuo Xiaoya sensed it, she didn't think much of it. She fell into Qin Feng's arms and looked at him with a pair of charming eyes, as if begging Qin Feng to attack her even more fiercely. However, Qin Feng didn't do as she wished. His hand that was touching under her skirt suddenly stopped. At this moment, a dense wave of spiritual energy floated over from Lu Hui's compartment. Without thinking, Qin Feng quickly absorbed it and cultivated. Sister Yu, help me absorb the spiritual energy over there. Qin Feng whispered into Zhuo Xiaoya's ear. Zhuo Xiaoya finally came to her senses. Only then did she realize that Qin Feng had important matters to attend to, and he wasn't really flirting with her. Young hero Qin, why you broke the array? Zhuo Xiaoya was shocked when she felt the sudden surge of spiritual energy. She didn't expect Qin Feng to be able to break the spatial array of Lu Hui's compartment, while going crazy with her. The array in the Elixir Refinery Pavilion isn't very advanced. I only broke it temporarily, and it will automatically recover after a minute. After Qin Feng explained, Zhuo Xiaoya realized that time was running out. Every compartment was sealed with sufficient spiritual energy to ensure that there was enough spiritual energy to use during the formation of the pill. Now that Qin Feng had temporarily broken Lu Hui's spatial array, the spiritual energy from his side surged over, which affected the success rate of Lu Hui forming her core. Bookmark for easier reading. Chapter 1564. After the space formation was destroyed, the spirit qi in Lu Hui's compartment kept flowing into Qin Feng's side. However, Lu Hui was at the crucial moment of pill formation and did not notice this. Young hero Qin, I feel that the spirit qi in our side is increasing. Will we be discovered if this goes on? Zhuo Xiuya was absorbing the spirit qi crazily, but she was somewhat worried. This was the Elixir Association's Alchemy Pavilion, and the space formation was set up by the Elixir Association's elders. If someone found out that Qin Feng had secretly tampered with the formation, the consequences would be unimaginable. Qin Feng was also somewhat nervous, but he could not back down now that things had come to this. Sister Yu, the formation will automatically recover in half a minute. Lu Hui is forming his core, so he can't be distracted to sense the situation of the spirit qi. Seeing that Qin Feng had no intention of giving up, Zhuo Xiaoye did not care anymore and stood firmly on Qin Feng's side. Bang! 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 Many disciples had already formed their pills. The 4 representatives at the judges' table were focused on the disciples who had formed their pills, so they did not notice Lu Hui's situation. Haha! I've formed my pills! It seems like I can obtain the status of a Grade 2 Elixir Master this time. Damn it! I was just one step away, but I failed to form my pills. Senior Brother Su, congratulations! You're going to advance to a Grade 5, Grade 6 Golden Elixir Master. Brother Feng, it seems like you've formed your pills as well. Congratulations! Haha! My pills are done too. Although the quantity and quality are lower than expected, it's not a problem for me to pass the test. In Zone 3, Su Baizhen and the other 2 had successfully formed their pills, and they were all smiling happily. Lu Hui was the only one who had not finished yet. He frowned, finally realizing that something was wrong. He could have formed his pills, but he realized that the spirit qi in the compartment seemed to have decreased a lot. Lu Hui suddenly looked at Qin Feng and Zhuo Xiaoye. Almost at the same time, the destroyed formation recovered, and Qin Feng suddenly hugged Zhuo Xiaoye and began to flirt with her again. Lu Hui didn't see anything fishy, but she was infuriated by the 2 of them being so attached to each other. He looked around and realized that almost all the disciples in this batch had formed their pills or failed. He was still in the process of refining his pills. The test is about to end. Please hurry. Elder Su, who was sitting at the judges' table, said. Lu Hui suddenly became anxious. In fact, he had already finished purifying the medicinal ingredients, and he was just waiting to form his gold core. However, he felt that the spiritual aura in the compartment had suddenly decreased, which hindered the success rate of forming his gold core. Although she had some misgivings in her heart, the current situation left Lu Hui no choice but to hesitate. The black robe on his body suddenly puffed up, and his expression became extremely solemn. Young hero Qin, is Lu about to form his gold core? Even if Zhuo Xiaoye didn't know alchemy, she could still see the general situation. An imperceptible smile flashed across Qin Feng's eyes. Without waiting for him to reply, a cloud of mist suddenly surged from Lu Hui's pill furnace. The cloud was endless, like the mushroom cloud produced by the explosion of an atomic bomb. Even though there was a spatial formation to block the sound, Zhuo Xiaoye could imagine the loud explosion. She quickly looked at Qin Feng in surprise and asked, Young hero Qin, did Lu fail to form the pill? Qin Feng nodded. The spiritual qi in his compartment is extremely sparse. Under these circumstances, forming the pill will definitely fail. After learning that Lu Hui had failed, Zhuo Xiaoye danced with joy. She had hated this vulgar old man since a few days ago. Today, Qin Feng finally helped her vent her anger. Now, this batch of examinees had all finished refining their pills. Elder Su and the other 3 judges had already walked down from the judging panel. Myriad Square Pavilion's Wahoo successfully refined the activation pill, obtained the status of a Class 2 Wondrous Pill Refiner. Green Jade Hall's Lin Tao successfully refined the 100 Flavor Pill, obtained the status of a Class 2 Spirit Pill Refiner. Sacred Medicine Sex 10 Liemo successfully refined the Immortal Expansion Pill, obtained the status of a Class 6 Spirit Pill Refiner. Myriad Tree Sect Swanley failed to refine the pill, eliminated. Flower Valley's Zhao Xing failed to refine the pill, eliminated. The judges were divided into two groups. Treasure Pill Tower's Lu Yunqing and Spirit Pill Association's Elder Feng checked the first area, while Elder Su and Immortal Grass Gate's Elder Xia checked the second area. As for the third area, it was temporarily empty. After the four of them checked the first and second areas, they would check the third area together. Under the selection of the four Elixir Kings, the identities of the 25 participants were quickly determined. As for the other 40 people, they were eliminated. After the first and second areas were finished, some people were happy, while others were sad. However, everyone quickly calmed down, and no one left. Instead, they gathered in the third area. I noticed that apart from that Jean brat, the other four seniors have all formed their pills. What do you think? Senior Lu Hui clearly failed to form her core, and her cauldron almost exploded. No way? Does that mean that both Qin Feng and Lu Hui failed? Then what about their bet? I'm still waiting to see that Qin brat kneel down and acknowledge him as his master. Don't look down on Qin Feng. Did you forget the purple flame he took out? That's the 5th-ranked heavenly flame. The crowd began to discuss heatedly as soon as they gathered. The four judges also walked over, and Elder Su said, "The next assessment is in the third area. There are a total of 5 examinees here, and all of them refined a Class 6 golden pill. Let's start with Lu Hui." After Elder Su finished speaking, the four of them walked to Lu Hui's cubicle. At this moment, Lu Hui's face was gloomy. He still could not figure out how he failed to form his core. Speaking of which, it was not his first time refining a golden soul pill. Just 4 days ago, Zhuo Xiaoya had asked him for help. Lu Hui was not the only one who was gloomy. Lu Yunqing, who was standing among the judges, also had an ugly expression. He looked at the cracked cauldron under Lu Hui's feet and already knew the result. "Lu Hui, take out your pill," Elder Su said calmly. Lu Hui stammered for a long time. Elder Su. I didn't form my core." Whoosh! As soon as these words came out, the surrounding crowd cried out in alarm. Although many people had seen the scene of the explosion in Lu Hui's cubicle and had even guessed that Lu Hui had failed to concoct the pill, when the truth came out from Lu Hui's mouth, the feeling was completely different. Pillmaster Lu failed? That's impossible, right? Last year, Senior Lu used his inner fire to easily obtain the status of a Class 2 6th-rank Golden Elixir Master. This year, he obtained a Beast Fire and refined the simplest Golden Soul Elixir among the Class 3 6th-rank Golden Elixirs. How could he fail? Everyone could not understand, but the truth was right in front of them. They could not help but believe it. Astonishment flashed in the depths of Elder Su's eyes. He nodded and said, "Since you didn't form your core, then this test counts as a failure." These words were like a death sentence for Lu Hui, causing him to be dumbfounded. Lu Yunqing held his breath. He had purposely let Lu Hui go through the back door and set the test as the simplest golden soul pill. Who would have thought that this guy would fail? After the result was announced, Elder Su led the 3 judges to the next cubicle. However, Lu Hui suddenly shouted, "Elder Su, I feel that there's a problem with my cubicle." The 4 of them stopped abruptly. The surrounding crowd also became alert. Could there really be a reason why Lu Hui failed? "Oh? What's wrong with your cubicle?" Elder Su's expression was still calm. Zhuo Xia's heart was in her throat. She was deeply afraid that Lu Hui would find out that Qin Feng was up to no good. However, Qin Feng was much calmer. He even hugged Zhuo Xiaoya in his arms and patted her back, indicating that she did not need to worry. "I don't have enough spiritual qi in my cubicle. That's why I failed." After Lu Hui said this, everyone had a strange expression on their faces. Logically speaking, the Elixir Association's Alchemy Pavilion was very rich in spiritual qi. It was precisely because of this that the number of people taking the test was strictly limited. The other disciples who took the test did not feel that there was anything wrong with the spiritual qi. Even the majority of people who failed did not fail because of a lack of spiritual qi. The spiritual qi in the alchemy pavilion is very rich. What you said won't happen. Don't worry too much about this test. You'll have another chance next year. Elder Su clearly did not believe Lu Hui's words. He even suspected that Lu Hui was looking for an excuse. Lu Hui was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He was not talking nonsense. He really did not have enough spiritual qi. Elder Su, I'm definitely not looking for an excuse for my failure. At the critical moment when I was forming the pill, there was a sudden lack of spiritual qi. That's why I failed. That guy with the surname Qin was in the cubicle next to me, and he failed a long time ago. I suspect that he's the one behind this. Lu Hui suddenly pointed the finger at Qin Feng. In reality, he did not even know if Qin Feng was the one behind this. In any case, he did not want Qin Feng to have an easy time. Shui Xiaoya jumped in fright and hurriedly retorted. Don't slander me. What does your failure have to do with young hero Qin? Lu Hui's face turned red. He could not think of how Qin Feng could have caused him to fail. Many people were already shaking their heads and sighing. Although they were on Lu Hui's side, Lu Hui's excuse was not convincing at all. Every cubicle in the alchemy pavilion is separated by a spatial formation. Once you enter your cubicle, no one can disturb you. Elder Su looked at Lu Hui with dissatisfaction. His words made it very clear that Qin Feng couldn't harm him at all. However, Lu Hui was so anxious that he did not even hear Elder Su's dissatisfaction. He insisted. Elder Su, I'm sure that Qin Feng did something. I suspect that he broke the formation of my cubicle. Shui Xiaoya almost fainted when she heard this. She thought that Lu Hui had really found something to blackmail her. However, Qin Feng's expression was calm. He could tell that Lu Hui was putting on an act. Nonsense! This is simply nonsense! Elder Su was instantly enraged. He glared at Lu Hui coldly and yelled. The Alchemy Pavilion's spatial formation was jointly set up by the representatives of the Elixir Association. How can it be broken by anyone? Moreover, if your cubicle formation was really broken, why haven't I noticed anything unusual until now? Everyone trembled in fear when Elder Su was angry. Chapter 1565. Lu Hui, hurry up and apologize to Elder Su. Lu Yuqing was almost angered to death by Lu Hui. This brat's failure was already embarrassing enough for him, and he still had the cheek to find such a lousy excuse. Lu Hui had already recovered from his shock. He said respectfully, Elder Su, this junior was speaking nonsense. Please forgive me. Elder Su glared at Lu Hui, then turned and walked toward Feng Shi's cubicle. As he walked, he said, Treasure Pill Towers Lu Hui, eliminated. Hearing this, Lu Hui felt weak all over, and he almost fell to the ground. He was sure that there was a problem with the spirit energy in his cubicle, but he couldn't figure out what was going on. Even Lu Hui himself wouldn't believe that it was Qin Feng's doing. The spatial formation in the Elixir Refinement Pavilion was set up by the representatives of the Elixir Association. How could Qin Feng have broken it? Moreover, Qin Feng had been hugging and kissing Shui Xiaoya ever since he failed. He didn't have time to play tricks. At this time, Elder Su and the others had already arrived at Feng Shi's cubicle. Feng Shi's expression was completely different from Lu Hui's. He ran over with a jade bottle in his hand. Elder Su, this is the bone-cleansing pill refined by this junior. The Spirit Pill Association's Elder Feng secretly glanced at Feng Huashi. Seeing Feng Huashi nod at him, Elder Feng felt relieved. Opening the jade bottle, a rich pill fragrance wafted in the air. Elder Su poured a pill into his palm, then carefully observed it before giving his conclusion. 3 low-grade pills in 1 cauldron. Congratulations to Spirit Elixir Association's Feng Shi for successfully advancing to level 2 6th grade golden pill refiner. Although the bone-cleansing pill was produced in small quantities, and the quality was poor, it was still refined. Even so, Feng Shi had met the test's requirements. Many people had already started to congratulate Feng Shi, and Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. This was his first time participating in the Pill City's alchemist test, and he was wondering if the Elixir Association's test would be too harsh. Now that he saw Fengshu's pill, he was sure that his sense accumulation pill would also pass. Immortal Grassgate's Summer and Square Tower's Su Bai's pills also passed the test. Both of them advanced to level 3 6th grade golden pill refiners and level 5 6th grade golden pill refiners respectively. Although everyone had guessed that Su Bai would be able to pass the test before the test started, the crowd still gasped in surprise when Elder Su announced the result in front of everyone. Su Baizhen was only in his early 40s, but he had already stepped into the ranks of Tier 5 Tier 6 golden pill masters. If nothing went wrong, he would become a Tier 1 Tier 7 pill king in 5 years. At that time, Su Baizhen was not even 50 years old. An elixir king who was not even 50 years old could be counted on one hand in the entire northern Sand region. Haha! Very good, this batch of alchemists' assessment has ended. Let the next batch of examinees enter. Elder Su was very happy when he saw that Su Bai had really passed the test, and a rare smile appeared on his usually indifferent face. The crowd dispersed, and Elder Su and the other three walked toward the judge's table. No one remembered Qin Feng, because halfway through the test, everyone thought he had failed. Shuoxiaoya panicked and quickly shouted, "Elder Su, you haven't tested young hero Qin's pill yet!" The crowd was stunned and turned around to look at Shuoxiaoya in surprise. Soon, a burst of laughter was heard. "Ha! Is there something wrong with that woman's IQ? She's still fantasizing about that kid passing the Golden Pill Master test. The purple flame is a waste in that guy's hands. Just give it to me. Don't even think about it. That kid doesn't know what's good for him." He displayed the purple flame at the Elixir Association test venue. I'm afraid the 4 judges are all staring at that kid now. The crowd that was about to leave suddenly became noisy. Elder Su frowned and said, "His pill failed halfway. What's there to test? Leave now. Don't affect the other alchemist's assessment." Since Elder Su had spoken, the crowd started to leave again. Halfway through, he heard Qin Feng say, "Senior Su, you haven't even seen it. How do you know that my pill failed?" Elder Su's expression changed slightly. His bright eyes stared at Qin Feng and sized him up. But before he could speak, Lu Hui had already jumped out. "Stinking brat, it's one thing for you to cause trouble in the hall, but now you dare to cause trouble in the Elixir Refinement Pavilion? Are you trying to challenge Elder Su's authority?" Ever since Lu Hui failed the test, she had been suppressing her anger, and had nowhere to vent it. Now that Qin Feng was acting recklessly, she finally found a way to vent her anger. This Lu Hui was also sinister. She wanted to make Qin Feng and Elder Su hate each other. Elder Su's expression had already darkened slightly. However, this little trick could not stump Qin Feng. He laughed and said, "Ha! Alchemist Lu, you failed because you're not good enough. Why are you blaming others and me? Are you trying to stir up conflict between me and Elder Su?" Lu Hui's thoughts were seen through. She immediately said anxiously, "You! What nonsense are you spouting? Why would I target you? Don't you think too highly of yourself? You're clearly the one who failed, yet you're delaying the assessment outside. What are you trying to do?" Lu Hui tried all sorts of excuses, but Qin Feng did not care at all. "You keep saying that I failed. Did you see my furnace explode? Or did you see my pill condense into waste? If you didn't see anything, where did you get the confidence to say that I failed?" Qin Feng's words choked Lu Hui. He really did not see Qin Feng fail. He was just guessing. "You stopped after half an hour. Don't tell me you succeeded." Lu Hui still wanted to argue, but she was interrupted by Elder Su halfway. At this time, Elder Su's expression had already returned to normal, but his heart was in turmoil. Qin Feng's words struck a chord in Elder Su's heart. In reality, he did not really see Qin Feng fail. He only felt that he had failed based on his experience. Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, Elder Su walked to the booth Qin Feng was in. "Take out the consciousness pill you refined." Qin Feng did not waste any words. With a flip of his hand, a small jade bottle appeared in his hand. At this moment, many people became nervous, thinking that the jade bottle couldn't really contain the consciousness accumulation pill, right? Crack! The bottle opened, and the crowd immediately gasped. An incomparably thick pill fragrance wafted out, instantly filling the empty pill refinery pavilion. Although no one had seen the consciousness pill in the jade bottle, from the thickness of the pill fragrance, they could tell that the quality of Qin Feng's pill far surpassed that of others. Even Square Tower's Su Baizhen could not compare to him. This is the pill you refined? Elder Su tilted the jade bottle, and a round, glossy pill fell into his palm. Even his palm was trembling. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.